this is the second session of the second season of our CSI Greater London game. In the last session, our group of heroes smuggled some gunpowder into the downtown area of Great London, working at the behest of the, shall we say, out of favour Sewer Shifters Guild, who have taken umbrage at the fact that they've been politically manoeuvred into a form of exile. Really, they've lost their guild status. Shenanigans ensued, as they often do, and a number of guards got melted with acid, but the mission was successful. Well, it probably drew a little more attention than might have been advisable. However, I'm going to ask, can one of you, and I'm going to ask Ian, can you please roll me a d12 to see how many days have passed between the last mission and this? Seven days, okay. So, we are now on the 18th of January, in the year of our Lord, 1255. And a couple of days earlier, you've been approached by a tall, thin man. His tall hat and dark coat portrays him as one of the city's witch hunters, and he tells you that he wishes to hire you for a matter of some delicacy. As you sort of sit him down and whatever in your swanky place in Bishopsgate, he tells you in a sort of slightly grizzled voice, when the laughing plague died down, it was not difficult to see that some agency we believe to be a cult or religious order dedicated to pagan devils was behind the whole thing. We managed to round up most of their leaders quietly for interrogation and execution. One of their ringleaders, a noble named Boris Uffington, betrayed his fellows and returned from having his sentence commuted from execution to life imprisonment in the Tower. His family was stripped of their noble rank, but we found no evidence of further corruption. Lyndon Dacre, a member of the pious House Dacre, was believed to have been involved, but we couldn't find enough evidence to hold him, and his family held too much power for us to arrest him on mere suspicion. However, recently we've received rumours that his behaviour has changed for the worse. He's taken a small property on the outskirts, and we believe him to be resuming his dark practices there. House Dacre have given us their blessing, should evidence be found, obviously, to arrest him, but they want deniability and the minimum of fuss, and that is why we're approaching you. Find out what Dacre is up to and stop him, and you will be rewarded with 1,000 gold coins. If you can bring him back alive, you'll be given 2,000 gold coins. And as I say, House Dacre would like this resolved with the minimum of fuss. Now, obviously, you have an opportunity to ask him. Obviously, this is a sort of flashback to a couple of days before, but are there any particular questions you would have liked to ask this witch hunter whilst you have him?
Do we know how many people are with him, or have we heard any? How small is the place, and any sense of his followers?
He says it's a small one-storey house on the very outskirts of Great London, no more than 3 or 4 rooms on the first floor. I've heard rumours that, unsubstantiated mind, that Lyndon Dacre has recently taken to hiring a couple of guards from the Mercenaries Guild. But I don't know the details. Unfortunately, given House Dacre's desire to keep this out of the public eye, we've been somewhat hampered in our ability to gather reliable reconnaissance information.
Understood. And do we have any indication of how powerful a summoner he is?
That's a strange thing. Up until a couple of months ago, if you'd have asked me if Lyndon Dacre had any leanings towards the foul arts of the occult, I would have said no. By all accounts, he seemed to be an upstanding, even pious young man. But over the last month, his behaviour has changed, and he's been seen consorting with a few people we believe to have been involved with the cult's activities. So it's clear that he's somehow become involved in this. But as I say, we had no evidence to arrest him before, and given his noble position, we can't simply take him in for interrogation.
Okay. Do you have a preference yourself for alive or dead?
It matters little to me. The witch hunter's interest in this is to the extent that whatever evil activities is involved in cease. However, the money for this is coming from House Dacre, and they would obviously prefer that he be returned alive and intact.
Understood.
However, for me personally, if you cannot do that, I would not shed any tear for another cultist perishing.
All right. All right.
Do we have an idea of whether there is a staff? How many are involved in this endeavor of his?
As far as I'm aware, when last we were able to gather reliable information, Dacre had 3 servants in his properties: a cook, a general handyman, and a footman. Whether that's still, and obviously the 2 guards that he's recently hired. Whether that's still the case, I don't know. We haven't been able to gather reliable intelligence for a while.
Oh, you froze there for a bit, John.
Apologies.
But yeah, I got the idea. Yes, obviously there's no accounting for him having hired some villains. But
we could speak to the mercenary guild, whether they would divulge the sort of disposition of the forces out that way.
I suppose with adequate coin.
Correct.
Well, if you have nothing further to ask of me, I will be on my way. I will. He basically hands you a parchment, and he says, "This will get you into the entryway of the witch hunters' headquarters. If you simply say that you are here regarding the Dacre matter, they will summon me once it's been dealt with. If there is nothing further, I'll be on my way." And he puts his hat back on, and he turns around with a swish of his black coat and walks out of your property in Bishopsgate. You hear the clack of his boots on the cobbles fading into the distance.
Can't say as I care for those guys much.
No, but it would be better that they looked fondly on us.
Indeed.
Yes. And every day they don't burn us down is a good day.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Okay.
There may come a time when a mistake draws their attention to us, and it would be best that they were positively disposed towards us.
Okay, then,
agreement.
guys. So you've got your mission, so we're going to go into the planning part of the mission, which I'll go through again. Obviously we did it previously, but I'll go through it again. So you need to decide, first of all, how you wish to approach the mission. Do you wish to go for an assault, deception, infiltration, some magical, so using some of my mystic means, social, or transport?
One of the things that sticks out is I could probably try and
Infiltrate.
yeah, sort of infiltrate with the with the act of I am a fellow believer in the dark arts, and try and do that. So obviously that relies on him buying.
I can see that being pretty convincing from where I'm standing. I mean, I can
You
see
do
that.
have that look.
you've got that vibe going on.
Exactly. And for all of
Not
our
too much of a
edification,
stretch.
Jackdaw has whatever it is. He's more there now. There's more of a person inside, and he is still kind of a corpse, really, but not so much of a raspy like leather bag anymore. Whatever he's doing, it's working, and he's gonna keep doing it. So that's my proposal. I could try and like get inside, throw the gates open, so to speak, and
But I was going to say Trojan horse, but I don't know anything about those things.
It's
So
probably better than an assault.
Yeah, I'm not in favour of an assault. I have to say, even with our friend Tell, that's a one-man army maybe, but that seems a bit of a
that's last resort, I reckon. Last resort.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, keep that thought as a backup. Tell, I think. Infiltrate. What was the other options?
Okay, so there's assault, which is inflicting violence on a target.
Yeah,
Deception, using some manner of deception to lure or trick the target. So like luring someone into a trap or whatever. Infiltration, obviously like getting yourself in there on the ground, moving unseen. Magical, using some of the mystic means to accomplish your goal. Social, negotiating or bargaining. And transport, which is more just for like you're moving goods from place to place.
Negotiation.
It's more like a deception, though, right? Like
A bit of social thrown in.
yeah, I think.
I think.
I think in this case,
Infiltration seems.
Did we have? Sorry, I entirely forgot already. Even though we just went through the list. John, did we have deception on the list?
Yeah, deception is like deceiving someone, or like luring them into a trap or tricking them, whereas infiltration is more sort of like sneaking your way into like an organisation or something like that. That's like the distinction between the two.
Yeah, I think in this context it would be social then, which that's fine.
So negotiating or bargaining. Yeah,
basically like going up to him and trying to ingratiate myself, probably bringing like some sort of offering, because like I'll give a spiel when we get to that, but sort of offering of alliance, I think, would be the pretext for me rolling up, and
okay.
Of course there's gonna be like heads being cracked, but
of course
the idea being like I could try and get in, and then we can.
So it's a blag. We're going for the blag. It's the blagging our way in.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, you've also been given a description by the witch hunter of Lyndon Dacre, so you'll recognise him. He's described as quite a sort of nervous and not particularly confident sort of man, which is why him sort of getting involved with this group is a bit of a surprise to the witch hunters. But they're like, well, there's always got to be followers for these sort of things. So they've sort of chalked it off to that, but they seem quite surprised with the fact that he'd sort of throw in with these people. But you've got like a physical description of him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
yeah, well, Oddgit don't care about that. If this is the job, this is the job. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have decided on social. So you're going to negotiate or try and bargain. So what's the sort of details of your plan? How are you going to approach this?
Are we just going to be like some sort of hangers-on then, Johannes? Are we like your lackeys or something?
I think so, yeah. I could play the part of like a deranged cult prophet, and we could go up to him as disciples.
I could play the part of like a crazy goblin alchemist spellcaster type.
That sounds credible.
Yeah, I think you could probably pull that off.
Yeah.
I think we have some of the stuff lying around already. Like we don't even.
Yeah, I've got the outfit. I've got some of the accoutrement.
Oh, mais oui.
Oui, Monsieur Goblin. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's one that we could try. That
What about the
I've.
friar though? The friar's a bit of a harder sell.
No, yeah,
It
the
could just be
friar.
a guard, though, right?
A
Just
guard,
a
yeah.
bodyguard.
Just
You know.
use some rough language or something.
Yeah, or say nothing at all. I'll just be a mercenary that you've hired to see you safe.
I have received dark visions from the nether realms, and we've come to serve him. I think that might open the gates. If nothing else, he might think we are. If he's an actual, you know, if he's the real deal, he might just look at, oh, free human sacrifice. I will invite these fools into my basement, and it will not go down well for him.
Yeah, I think Friar, you say it best when you say nothing at all, mate. I'd go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the words of old, what's his face?
Meatloaf.
Ronan Keating.
That's the fella.
Okay. So you're going to try and blag your way in. So we're going to make the engagement roll to see how successful you are at this. So I think since you're leading this group, Johannes, you can make this roll. It's a social roll, so obviously it would tend to be charisma. So difficulty starts at 12. So is the mission bold or daring? I'd say it's pretty daring. You're just trying to flag your way into like an occultist lair. So.
Yeah, and we're taking the bull not even by the horns. We're just like digging into the eyes, being like, I know you worship the devil, so I'm here to do that same thing.
So that takes the difficulty down to 9. Is the operation complex or contingent on many factors? Not really.
No.
Does the plan expose or use a vulnerability of their target? Not really. Is the target strong against this particular approach? I would say yes, because obviously if some random person just piles up and be like, hey, I'm an evil occultist too, you're going to be a bit suspicious.
Yeah, if he's not in the market for acolytes,
yeah,
this might be a short deception, guys.
So that'll bump it back up to 12. Can any friends or allies provide useful intelligence?
Maybe not at the moment.
Okay. Are enemies / rivals interfering in the operation? No. So it's going to be a difficulty 12 charisma roll for yourself, Johannes.
Yep. And just to set it up before we're going to get there, I will have used my Durandel's blessing on myself to...
What does that do?
It allows you to shrug off magic. Resistance to magic.
Oh, right. Cool.
I'll roll for that, but I'll get with the engagement here. So I'm gonna go with charisma because it's me lying. 20. Does that do the thing?
Yeah. That'll do with that natural 20. Okay, so
Good start.
I'm going to say again, so hopefully you can all see the Roll20 map. Obviously the house is blacked out. I'm going to say before you sort of pole up to the house, Johannes, can you please roll me a D3? Okay, so now hopefully you can see at the southern end of the house, sort of here, there is a door, but there's also windows around the sides that hopefully you can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm going to say is that before you guys actually approach, you can have sort of like had a peek in one of those windows.
All right. Is it a free pack?
Yep, you can pick which of the windows you prefer. Just tag it.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb because I don't really have any info, so we'll go with this one.
Okay, no problem. So let me just reveal that area then. There we go. Okay, so when you peer into this room, so as you're approaching it, you can see what looks to be a small study. There's a couple of bookcases. There's a desk with some writing materials on it. There's a couple of chairs in there. The normal sort of things you'd expect to see in a study. You can see there appears to be several scrolls and parchments spread across the desk. There's a couple of like thick looking leather bound books. Nothing particularly untoward that you can see from the window. There's a couple of doors, one in the eastern wall, one in the southern wall, that you presume lead to other rooms.
Yep. And also, let's forget about my blessing, because it was actually a very short duration spell, so wouldn't have lasted. So I will go with that when and if necessary. All right. So we've picked in, and this is this the door?
It is
main
indeed,
door into
yeah.
the house? Yeah.
As you're approaching the main door, you can see there are two sort of armoured guards stood out the front of it. They don't look like they've been particularly challenged by anything thus far. They look fairly relaxed. What do you do?
I think we're all gonna get into character, and we'll saunter up, all cult-like.
Okay.
With Jackdaw in the lead, because I'm trying to pull off the big lie.
Okay. So you saunter up to these guards, and one of them steps forward and he's like, "Can I help you?" You can see he's wearing like a small sash which has the emblem of the Mercenaries Guild on it.
Yeah, I'll with my hood all down, casting my face in shadow. I'll turn to the guard and I will say, "Yes, I am on a holy mission, and I have come to see the Lord Decker."
He says, given that obviously you rolled the 20 for the engagement roll, he nods and he says, "Well, I'm sorry to tell you that Lord Dacre's given instructions that he shouldn't be disturbed. If you'd like to come in and wait, though, I can see if I can go and get him for you."
Well, be on your way then. That would be my wish.
Okay, so let me reveal a couple more areas. Okay, so you're all led down a long corridor into what appears to be a dining room. There's like a large table. Nothing too fancy. It's made of wood. There's chairs around it, etc. The room's fairly plain. It looks to be a pretty modest dwelling. What the second guard is sort of stood in the room with you, while the first who spoke to you goes off to see if he can find Lord Dacre.
Obviously, it's all going on in the basement.
A few minutes pass, and the first guard has not returned. Are you guys doing anything while you're waiting?
Is there any like bowls of fruit or anything like that? You know, that I could just sort of rudely help myself to.
There are like a couple of bowls on the table, but they don't look as though they've been used for a long time. There's nothing in them. They look like your standard earthenware fruit bowls and stuff that you'd expect to have, but there's nothing in them. There's maybe like a There's maybe like a few shriveled like grapes or stuff like that, but they've obviously been there for some time, and you wouldn't fancy really tucking into them.
No, not so much. Is there any paintings or anything? Any sort of
Not that you can see.
a pretty Spartan kind of setup?
Yep. It looks like a very humble sort of abode. I mean, not the sort of place you'd expect like a well-to-do noble to be living in, to be honest. But most of the homes on the very outskirts of London, which is where this is, are pretty sort of humble anyway.
But we had some servants to clean all this up. Good state of this.
Yeah. Mouldy old grapes.
Yeah, mouldy old grapes.
Okay, Tal, can you please make me a wisdom roll? Obviously, difficulty is 12.
Wisdom.
And I apologise in advance if I stutter over a few things. Roll 20 seems to be like lagging quite heavily at my end. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm afraid that's a big no-no for Tal. So you stood, this guard stood there, he's got his arms folded, he's just sort of like looking around, obviously making sure you guys don't get up to anything you shouldn't do while you're in Dacre's house. Another couple of minutes pass, the guard hasn't reappeared.
No, I'll go over to the garden. I'll say, excuse me, could I use your conveniences? I feel the urge to relieve myself.
He looks at you and he says, well, there's some trees around the back.
Round the back? Round the back of what?
The house.
Perhaps you could point me in the direction.
He gestures with a thumb at the door behind him, and he's like, through the door there, straight down the corridor, out the front door you came in by, round the back of the house.
Much obliged. And I'll nip past him, and I'll have a shufty out in this corridor here.
Okay, so feel free to move yourself, but you can see this guard's like keeping an eye on you. Obviously being like a sort of dodgy goblin as you walk down the corridor. So move your token where you want to go to.
Okay, I will go to here.
And you're just having a peek through the door, is that correct?
Yeah, well, I can't say what I'm hoping for. So yeah, I'll sort of yeah. What is that stuff?
Okay, so you peer in through the door and you can see you're looking into what appears to be a kitchen. There's a cooking pot, what looks to be like an old Augur style cooker. There's a table set up. There's like another sort of smaller round table. There's a few bits of sort of semi-rotten fruit on the table.
Yeah. Everything's a bit rotten. That's a bit weird, isn't it? All right. Okay.
While that's going on and the guard is watching Odgit, can I try and grapple him from behind and put my hand over his mouth and keep him silent and try and knock him out?
You most certainly can, Friar Dunstan. Make me a strength roll, difficulty 12.
Well, that's all a bit Steven Seagal, isn't it?
Well, not maybe. Let's see.
It's all a bit Navy SEALs.
Okay, so now obviously you're not trying to injure him, you're just trying to knock him unconscious, is that correct? Yeah. Okay, so roll your effort to dice.
Basic.
Yeah.
Trick.
Okay, so you've got this guy and he's not unconscious yet, he's like struggling, but you have clamped your hand over his mouth because you passed the roll, so he's quiet. The rest of you guys see Dunstan come up behind him, sort of arm round the neck, hand on the mouth, and start sort of like struggling with him. This guard's like he's trying to get to it. You can see he's trying to get to his sword, but obviously, like Dunstan's trying to restrain him. Jackdaw, what are you doing?
Don't stab him. Don't stab.
I'm not stabbing. I've
Okay.
moved beyond knives to some degree.
Okay. Don't suck all his blood out and put it
Something
into
even
someone
worse,
else.
yeah.
So,
He's sorely see. Look, he's sorely tempted.
On the last result.
yeah. So the friar is putting the work in, but the guard is not unconscious yet.
That's correct.
Is what I'm getting. Yeah. I'm gonna be shit if I just try and do the same thing. So I'm racking my brain for something else. Because ideally I would not want to set the house on fire just yet. So I don't know. I don't really have a lot of good options here, so we'll just go with I'm just gonna help with that. Yeah, if the friar is putting the sleeper hold, I'm gonna go and help with that. I'll hold on to the guard's hands or whatnot, and don't know, like punch him in the gut.
Okay, that's fine. Roll your basic effort. You don't have to make a roll to attack him or anything because he's already been held by Fried Instant.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. Oh, yeah, I'm helping. I'm helping.
Okay, yeah, so no problem. Between Jackdaw and Friar Dunstan, you're able to sort of basically choke this guy out and sort of like gently and sort of quietly lower him down to the floor. I'll put a little X through him to remind us that... there we go. Obviously he's not dead, but he's effectively no further threat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Tal, you've seen your two companions choke this guard out. What are you doing?
Oh, don't need me. Oh, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tie this guard, tie his hands, stuff like a cloth in his mouth. Keep him quiet.
Yep,
Yeah,
no
just in
problem.
case comes round.
You tie him up, gag him, and you basically stick him in a corner. Not a problem. He is dealt with.
Slap his cheek.
Indeed.
There you go, mate.
Okay.
Sleep tight.
So, Odgit. Like I say, you've peeped into this room. There's what looks to be a fair amount of food on one of these small wooden tables, the round one. I mean, you think there must be there. I mean, there's bread, meat, etc. Probably enough for like 3 people easily. However, some of the meat has like that unhealthy sort of slimy like sheen that meat gets just when it's on the turn of going rancid.
Yeah, I don't fancy it. I'll nip across the corridor to the other side, to like this side here.
Okay, no problems.
Of the window we peered through.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so you head into this small study. As I say, there's a couple of bookshelves, plenty of papers on the desk, a couple of chairs. This room looks like it's been sort of kitted out a little bit better than the rest of the house you've seen thus far. Obviously, this room sees a lot of use. You can tell by the pile of papers on the desk. There's a couple of chairs pulled out. Other than that, it looks pretty unremarkable, though.
I'm going to head straight over to the desk, gather up them papers, shuffle them all together, grab them up, stick them under me, stick them in me satchel or whatever, and see if there's any drawers in this desk here.
Okay. You open the desk drawers, and we will make a roll to see what you find within. So can you please roll me a D100, Odgert?
Okay.
Okay.
That is a 100.
Okay, not a problem.
100.
Inside the desk, and at first you think there's nothing in it, but just on an impulse you sort of like, you give like a gentle knock and you realise there's a false bottom to the drawer.
Oldest trick in the book.
You prise it out, and inside is what looks to be a small glass potion bottle or vial with a little cork stopper in the top of it, but instead of liquid inside it, there's what looks to be a small golden light trapped inside it. It's one of those round bottomed potion bottles.
Yeah.
And it almost looks a little bit like a bulb, you know, like someone's trapped like light inside it.
Does it give off quite a bit of light then, like a light bulb sort of thing?
Not enough that you could use it as a torch, but there is like
No.
this little spark of light captured in it.
Oh, that's quite interesting. From an alchemical angle, I'm quite fascinated by that. So, stash that. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you make me a wisdom roll, please? Standard difficulty. Okay. So you're just about to leave, and obviously this will be at the end of your turn, but just as you're sort of heading back to the door to go out, from somewhere sort of further down the corridor towards the door, so in this direction, you hear this soft and at that point we're going to jump back to Friar Dunstan.
Okay. Is this the safe in this room? Sorry, just.
It's a range. I
Yeah,
think.
it's like a
it's
it's
a
like
range,
it's like an
okay.
auger basically.
Okay. Cool. So I guess on the assumption that there's a creepy basement, I would probably have followed out looking for the entrance to it and would expect to be looking into this room here on the left,
Okay.
peeking through the door.
I'll reveal that, and then you can move yourself that in there. Okay, so as you look into this room, you can see it appears to be a small bed chamber. There's a bed in one corner, a small footstool, there's a small round table, and you can see at the foot of the bed is what appears to be a sturdy looking wooden chest with a large metal lock on it.
Okay.
Probably about yay big.
Okay. And so seeing no kind of trapdoor or door or anything, I'll move across the corridor and look in the opposite side.
Okay, no problem. So we'll get back to what you see in a moment. So, Tal, what are you doing?
Disarming that guy, just realised, just in case he comes round. And swinging his sword, I'll just rest it on my shoulder. I'll follow out and stand somewhere in the middle of the way, just looking up and down, waiting
No problems.
for instructions.
Okay, Jackdaw, what about yourself?
Let me get myself unmuted. So, What was the situation here with the door, with the friar?
The friar's literally just sort of opening the door as you're walking up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go and check.
Okay.
I'll just back him.
Okay, not a problem. Obviously, I was going to reveal this area anyway as the friar opened it, so I'll do that now. Okay, as the door opens and you're sort of peering over Friar Dunstan's shoulder, you can see into what must have once been the servants' quarters. There's a couple of crude sort of cots with bedding, hessian blankets, sort of straw stuffed pillows, the like, a couple of tables. However, what really catches your attention is that lying on the floor are what appear to be two bleached white skeletons.
Looks like we found the staff.
They are... Well... This doesn't look like the kind of place that a person like Deka would ordinarily inhabit. So these are either very old tenants or he is actually involved in the dark arts.
Okay. So can I walk in and examine the nearest skeleton?
You most certainly can. Make me a wisdom roll.
17.
Okay, as you walk in and you examine these skeletons, there is, although they appear sort of fairly new, they're not crumbling away or anything, there is not a scrap of flesh left on the bones. However, there are some curious sort of areas of the bones where the bones themselves appear to have been like warped or twisted, like these people perhaps had some sort of deformities.
Okay.
But as you're investigating them, you hear this from under the large round table, and you hear the like of something moving beneath the table.
The table in the room I'm in?
Indeed.
Okay. So I will quickly come over and have a look under the table.
Okay. So as you're looking under the table, you see what appears to be the twisted remnants of perhaps a once human figure. However, its flesh appears to have melted like candle wax. In place you can see bones protruding, and there appear to be strange, almost animalistic like limbs emerging randomly from its form. As it scuttles towards you from under the table, you can see the half ruined face of a melted human visage emerging from its back, and this pitiful mewling voice says, "Help me," as it sort of scuttles forward on this assemblage of mismatched limbs.
Okay. So magic do I have?
Okay, well, while you're thinking about that, Friar Dunstan, I'll jump over to Jackdaw.
All right. Did we see where the guard went when he was looking for Decker?
You didn't. He went out into the corridor and shut the door behind him, and that was the last you saw of him.
Yeah. Yeah. Presumably the friar left the door open, so would have been fairly clear that something's kicking off.
Indeed.
So yeah, I'm gonna
You
Pop
also
in.
see this like twisted creature sort of pulling itself forward, very reminiscent of like one of the creatures out of John Carpenter's The Thing. As it crawls forward, it's like someone's taken an assemblage of different animals and a human and just mashed them together as though they were clay sculpted by the hands of a madman.
And the friar is jumping back, presumably.
Obviously, the friar's sort of step back. He's like considering his next move.
Yeah.
But this thing, as it crawls forward, as I say, you can hear this pitiful human voice crying out for help, almost drowned out by the brays, the mews, the neighs of these various sort of like animalistic sort of mouths that seem to be like forming and dissolving into and out of the central mass of the creature.
Friar, do we burn it?
I think so.
I'll cast binding on it, which is the one where I basically root it on a spot with basically like tendrils of fire.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so we are. Let's see. I am going to cast. Have we recovered health between?
Yeah, should have all recovered your health.
Sessions? Yeah. Okay.
So obviously, like 7 days have passed. So
Yeah. So I'll just do power 1 with the binding. So here goes. With the just gonna check one more time. Yeah, because I didn't change it because it's already fire. So it's a 1. That is not a success.
okay, I'm gonna have to check because I can't remember exactly what happens to you guys when you fail.
Yeah, I'm looking it up as well. Laws of magic. Casting. Okay, so are we using the mercurial failure from the magic book?
We would be for you guys since you're you're using those rolls.
So it's a 12 then. A roll of a d12.
Yeah. So roll your d12.
On that book, 7.
Fear. Okay, so as you cast this spell on this creature, you momentarily gain a glimpse into the maddening, mishmashed, corrupted soul of this creature, and you have a brief glimpse of it sort of as a normal person. You think sometime in the past, being sort of held down by a group of hooded figures, and a tall, cruel-looking man whose appearance matches what you were told about Lyndon Dacre, but he was described as this slightly bumbling, sort of unsure of himself, sort of nervous guy, whereas this person stands there looking imperious, every inch the cruel, noble overlord, and he shouts out to the heavens, thunder and lightning crashing overhead, an incantation of some kind, and you watch as the flesh of this unfortunate manservant begins to bubble and twist, and you feel yourself sort of pulled into the sort of psychic effect that this had on the person's psyche. And an unfortunate side effect of that is that you lose all your stat bonuses for D4 rounds. Oh no, sorry, for 3 rounds. My apologies.
Yep. Yeah, no, well, still not great.
Yeah. So obviously, like you say, this is this sort of bowel-shattering glimpse into someone's soul that's been twisted by foul magics. How does Jackdaw respond? What does Fry Dunstan see as you sort of hold your hand out to cast this spell and this dark glimpse takes place?
I think there's... Because Jackdaw isn't all right yet. There's some stuff that we're going to need to work on before he's okay. I think because of his nature as a kind of a sort of an empty cup, I think if I reach out with my magical power, I touch this corrupted soul, and a bit of it like goes back like with feedback. So I think Jackdaw probably I think he sort of backs away and starts spewing the kind of tortured voices that the creature is, but at a lower volume. This is like sort of whispering. It's like, and sort of, oh no, and I'll step backwards into the corridor, just like mumbling in animal voices to myself.
Indeed. So, Tell, as you're sort of like stood in the corridor, you know, waiting for your orders, you see Jackdaw with this equal parts bewildered and horrified expression on his face, his hand still held up in front of him, stagger backwards into the corridor, his mouth spewing this glossolia of random syllables and strange animalistic sounds as he almost stumbles backwards into the corridor, his hand held up like he's trying to ward something away from himself. What do you do?
Bloody hell, what's up, mate? Oh, dash down. What's going to you? You alright? You alright, mate?
I'll, because I've been holding my hand like this because I was casting the spell, but I'll like just curl my fingers. I'll just leave the one, and I'll point into a room, and
follow his finger pointing.
Yeah, you see Fry Dunstan stood there in this twisted, mutilated abomination, this warped mass of violated flesh crawling out from under this table like some horrendous fleshy arachnid.
Bloody hell, that's not right. I've got an action, I'll go and cut it in half.
Okay, so you're going to attack it, Tal, is that correct?
Yep, if I can move as well.
Yeah, move yourself in, make your roll.
Bloody hell. Get out of the way. Okay. Strength, I believe.
Indeed.
Not the best with the sword. I'll give it a swing anyway.
Well, I do believe that's a natural 20, so obviously you get to roll your weapon damage and your ultimate damage and add them together. So Friar, as you're sort of like, you've taken a step back and you're like, oh, I wonder what we should do about this, you hear like, bloody hell! And Tal comes in with his sword that he's taken off the guard. He's like, Aah!
There's 3 off this, because this is my unarmed. I do more unarmed.
Don't forget you said you were swinging the sword you'd taken off the guard, so you don't have to be.
And an ultimate.
Indeed. Okay, so that is enough to
12.
That is enough to finish the creature. So describe how you dispatch it.
Yeah, and I see the human head, and that's the one I'm going for. As I charge ahead, I see his eyes and his pleading eyes.
Indeed, his eyes lock with you, and you almost see like a little bit of a smile as though it welcomes your attack.
Crack! Split his skull to the jaw.
Indeed, you slice this blob of flesh into 2, and it sort of flops to the ground, ichor and blood leaking slowly out of it into the floorboards.
Step back before I get some of my boots.
No problems. Okay, Oddgit, obviously you've heard there's a bit of a commotion going on nearby. You'll have certainly heard like a Jackdaw sort of babbling and then Tal going Aah! As he ran in.
Yeah, I think I'll steer well clear of all that nonsense. And I'll come down the corridor. I'll have a little look in there.
Okay, before you do that, make me a wisdom roll.
A wisdom roll.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you back to here, back in the room you were just in. Now what happens is you're you've obviously been rooting around in the desk and whatnot. You've
Yeah.
got all the papers and whatever. You're just about to leave. When as you're walking across the room, as you walk through the space where your token is now, you're like, the flooring under your feet feels a little springier than you would have expected.
Right. I was about to investigate such a. Probably that was in my mind, and that was why I realised this. I was headed into the other room, but I will investigate the floorboards, looking for a hatch, a trap door.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So make me a roll. I'd say you could possibly justify dex, wisdom certainly. And if you succeed on your roll your basic effort. Okay, so you're pretty sure that the floor you're on is some sort of trapdoor. However, whatever mechanism there is for opening it, you search around and it must be extremely well hidden because you're not able to find it. But you sort of like you knock on the floorboards and it sounds hollow compared. So you're like, there's definitely something there.
There's definitely something amiss. There's definitely something amiss here, but it's beyond me. I will head out with the idea of getting some assistance from my companions.
Okay, so move yourself out into the corridor. That'll be as far as you can get.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fry Dunstan, you've seen Tal come in and do what Tal does best and finish off this mutilated creature. Its corpse now lies on the floor, slowly leaking its life fluids into the timber.
Good man, Tal. Is Jackdaw okay? And I will walk out and investigate Jackdaw and see how he is coping.
So, how many rounds was this?
It was 3 rounds, so you'll have started to recover by now. You'll have got your stat bonuses back.
Yeah. So I'll be in the corridor blinking hard.
Yeah, it looks as though he's pulling himself together, but obviously whatever happened has like shook him up quite severely.
Okay. And then, seeing that he's okay, I probably want to investigate this chest if that's okay. And see if I can pry the lock off it.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. You will need to, obviously because it's got the lock, you will need to make a roll to open it. You could use dexterity to try and pick it. You could use strength to just bust it open. Up to you.
I will use strength.
Okay, so make your strength roll.
No.
Okay, so you hammer at this chest, but it appears to be extremely well made, and it doesn't budge. Okay, so Tal, what are you doing?
A quick glance over at the door. I see that Jackdaw's still there, but he seems to be coming round. So I'll have a quick scout around this room, see if there's anything worth sneaking.
Okay, no problems. So you have a look around. You can see the 2 skeletons as I described previously, and obviously the mutated unfortunate that you were forced to kill. However, as you're searching through the bodies, can you please make me a D100 roll? $27. Okay. So you find that one of the servants, sort of in the shabby shreds of clothing that hang about them, has effectively like a workman's sort of belt. You assume maybe this is the handyman they spoke about. And inside of the workman's bag, you find a small pair of metal cutters, like a snip tool, like you might use for cutting chains or something like that, or bars. And these allow you to roll your ultimate effort instead of whatever you might roll normally if you're like clipping metal off something.
Right. These are coming handy.
For nicking
soon.
bikes.
Look at me
For
nails.
nicking bikes from the town centre or down the railway station.
Indeed.
Nick yourself a mongoose with mag wheels.
What are you talking about? Old git.
Oh, that's goblin stuff. You don't know about that.
Yeah, that's how they do things in Goblin Town.
That's right, man.
Okay, so Jackdaw. What are you doing?
Okay. So what's Oddgit up to in the corridor?
He's basically just come out into the corridor. He's got like a pile of like papers, sort of shut, and like books
Jammed
shoved
under
under
his
one
arm.
arm.
Yeah.
Obviously, now Oddgit, obviously you said you were coming to perhaps get some help for what you think is a trapdoor. Are you like saying anything as you come out and you see Jackdaw?
Yeah, well, I was, but then I feel like I can hear a bit of a commotion from down here with like the friar huffing and puffing, trying to get himself into that chest there. Well, I've got a key in my pocket that might aid him in that task.
Indeed.
Okay, so how about we meet at the door? You give me
Yeah, I'll be
your
like,
stuff.
Yep.
So
Have a look at that.
I'll
Have a
get
butchers
the
at that.
yeah, I'll get the
Like
papers.
paperwork.
Okay, so both move, just for convenience sake, both move yourself to the door of the room that's got the friar in.
Oh, that's a bit friendly.
I mean, you're a goblin, so
Anything goes
And
in
I'm
Goblin
thin.
Town.
Yeah, Friar, don't strain yourself. And I'm like, yeah, look, I've got a key.
Okay, so as you're handing that over, because we're still on Jackdaw's go, Jackdaw, you've now got to these this pile of paper and books.
I'm gonna stand there, go through it. Obviously, I don't have a lot of time, presumably, but I'll see what's there.
Okay, make me an intelligence roll.
Come on, 1. Oh, well, it's a 4.
Okay, you've started to like, even though you've technically failed the roll, you've started to, and don't forget, guys, if you retry, because I will forget, if you retry something after you've failed it, the next roll is easier, so it's at -3 difficulty. And I apologise because I forget that every time.
Yeah.
But okay, so you've started to piece it together, although you're not really gone far. You think these are sort of handwritten notes based on one of these books. You think it's some sort of summoning ritual, but you've not been able to get any more details yet.
Right. Yeah. I'll suppose I'll actually sit down there in the corner with the stuff, because if I have a pile of it, I need to put it down somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Oddgit, so you've walked into the room, you're holding your key up, you can see the friar's sort of like huffing and puffing a bit as he's not been able to get this chest open.
Yeah, get out of the way. And I'll be, so I get something here. Where this bit at?
Okay, no problems. So you use your magical key to open the lock on the chest. It pops open cleanly. Now, can you please roll me a D100, Oddgit?
Oh, I tell you what, I've got to make a wisdom roll. Oh,
that's
to
fine.
achieve that. Yeah. I neglected to.
Yeah, grand.
Okay.
It pops open, make the D100 roll.
D100.
Okay, so there are 2 items inside the chest. I'm going to get Friar Dunstan to roll for the second one in a moment. But the first one is what appears to be a scroll tube. It has 5 spell scrolls in it.
Oof.
The GM gets to select the spell scrolls, which I will do momentarily, probably like when we have a break shortly.
Yeah.
So to make a note, you've got 5 spell scrolls. And if you can please roll me a D100 as well, Friar, for the second item.
Ooh. 46.
As I consult the bizarre loot table.
Mm.
Okay. You find inside the chest next to the scroll case a glass jar containing a strange looking worm. You think it's some sort of silkworm, and I would tell you the effect of this is that it produces 1 foot of unbreakable silk thread per day.
Pretty handy.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is what you find, gentlemen.
I will spin round to old Jackdaw as he's rooting through his papers, and I'll be like, ho, 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 ho! Looky!
What do you have there?
Scrolls.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You can put them on the pile. I'll motion towards the stack.
Let me have a look at that. You shouldn't be struggling.
Yeah. There's more. Like it doesn't. There's more than enough for a couple of sets of eyes.
Mm.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Friar Dunstan's go, because obviously it didn't take your go just to reach into the chest. So what would you like to do, Friar?
I guess I want to look for the trapdoor, and I'm guessing that the office is the best place to do that. So
Yeah, move yourself into the office.
So, and kind of not knowing where it is, I was kind of start looking at looking for slots behind a bookshelf and that sort of.
Okay, make me a wisdom roll.
$13.
Okay, roll your basic effort.
4.
Okay, so you've established that the trapdoor is here, where I'm pinging. You definitely know it's there, and you think there must be some sort of concealed mechanism to locate it, and you're basically looking around and sort of starting to check the trapdoor to locate that.
Okay.
Okay, Tal, what about yourself?
All right. Go back into the hallway. Peer inside. See everyone's all right. Need a hand, Friar.
Yes, please.
All right. Show me what to do.
Okay, so you can, if you wish to assist, you can also make a wisdom roll, Tal.
Wisdom.
Okay, so Friar Tal is pretty well-meaning, but after a few minutes of like him sort of fumbling around where you've told him the trapdoor is, man, you've told him where the trapdoor is, and like a couple of times he's like touching areas which are not the trapdoor, and you're sort of starting to wonder, like, you know, maybe I'd be better just doing this myself.
There's the floor again.
I can't see it. I can't see where it is. What are you talking about, man?
Okay, Jackdaw.
All right. I think we're gonna continue delving into the dark rituals. What's Oddgit doing? Are you hanging around?
I'm there with you. I just run the old clock run down on me there. I'm just rifling through the paperwork with you, shuffling and running my finger along the text.
Okay, well, if you're both trying to do it, you can both make me an intelligence check.
Okay. And I'll do this with the easiness now.
Yeah,
It's the
you
second
failed last time. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so roll your basic effort.
Is it basic or is it magic?
Do you know what?
Because there's an example in the book.
I think it's magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right.
Yep. 9.
Okay, so now you've sort of got the idea that it's some sort of summoning ritual that gives you the sort of framework that you need to go, all right, this is obviously for that. As you sort of carry on reading it, you see that it appears to be a collection of hand-drawn notes based on a translation of the book designed to summon a demon or entity known as Amoros. However, as you're sort of checking through it, you realise that the person who's transcribed the notes has made an error with the translation of the demon's name, and it's actually Armonial.
Okay. Yeah, so the actual name is Ammonial, and the false one is the
Amoros.
Amoros. Yeah. Okay.
So they potentially summoned the wrong.
Yeah, the wrong one.
Gentleman.
Mm. And it's probably not working out great for them, judging by what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's gone badly wrong.
So obviously Odgit was trying to decipher that with Jackdaw, so Friar, it's yourself.
So I'll just continue to look, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it. Same drill as before.
Okay. Oh, not so much. Only one more extra.
Okay, so you think you're getting closer to it, but obviously this trapdoor has been like extremely well built. You can tell that they've obviously had like a proper craftsman in to build this, quite at odds with the ramshackle nature of the rest of the house. And you're like, I know there's got to be some sort of mechanism here, and you're running your fingers down the edges of it and the boards and just trying to find it. So you're getting closer, but you've not managed to find it yet. Tell, are you still helping?
Yeah. How about I use this sword? Get in there.
To be fair,
open, yeah?
you could make a roll with strength rather than intelligence if you just want to like smash it open and you're not bothered about the noise. So if you want to do that, make yourself a strength roll, Tell. If you want to just smash it open.
I'll go with wisdom again.
Okay.
So it seems a bit, too much, too permanent to smash it.
Okay. Yep. Roll your basic effort.
Oh, that cat. Right. All right. Hold on a sec. Let me just work my finger in here.
Okay, so as you're fumbling around, Tal, you actually manage to find like a concealed sort of section of one of the boards that pulls up like a handle, but it appears like you've got to like twist it or maybe manipulate it somehow. So when you just try pulling it, it doesn't yield. But you've found the mechanism. You're like very close to being able to open it. Okay.
Here you go, Rev.
Okay, Jackdaw.
Okay. So we've got the general idea. Someone has been working a ritual and they made a mistake. Is there obviously we would need to roll to find out the actual details, but is there more to the thing? Does it seem like there's more to be gained right now from the material?
It does not seem so, no.
Yeah. Good. So I'll say to Odgit, yeah, we'll probably best pack this up and go see about the others.
But there's a door in the floor.
And as they're saying that, Friar Dunstan and Tell, from below the trapdoor, you hear this deep.
Some beatboxing.
Yeah,
Just trying to get
some
it
demon
over.
element.
Are you sure we want to open it?
Yes. We have come here to vanquish this evil.
Right.
And we can't do that if we don't open the door.
Oh, bugger. All right.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
Oh, you two. We need you.
Okay, so the friar's not having much luck. Tell, are you going to try and open the door again?
Yep, sorry. Yeah, you went a bit robotic on me there, so I'll...
Well, you
there
know,
go.
I love that auto tune. Okay,
Oh, there we are.
roll your basic effort.
Roll the effort.
Okay, so as you're sort of looking, you're like, oh, I see. Maybe if I twist this, and as you twist the concealed handle, you're able to lift the trapdoor up, and you can see a small flight of stone stairs leading into the darkness below. And from below, you hear the sounds of low voices chanting, and you can just make out the flickering firelight. And that's why we're going to have a short break, guys. So we'll have a 5-minute break, and then we'll carry on with you entering the cellar.
Sanctum of darkness.
Indeed. Okay, so go and use the conveniences, guys. Grab yourself a drink, and we'll be back in 5.
Oh, we're getting ominous up in
Oh,
this
yeah.
piece.
Yes. Can you hear the sound effects on the stream, John?
Yep.
Ooh. Scary. Listeners. It's gone all PG-15. At least.
Yeah, I think given the content in general, I think we might be looking at a different rating.
I need to come up with some goblin swear words.
Would those revolve around like different varieties of like spoiled mushrooms or something?
Yeah, probably. Spoiled stuff in general, I feel.
Yeah.
Mouldy this and mouldy that.
Yeah.
And inbreeding. Jesus. Got Top Gun in the other room.
Bit of a contrast.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, let me change the difficulty on this location.
There's no need, John. 12 is okay.
Okay, so I'm assuming, and obviously feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, that when you guys realise the trapdoor's been open and you hear like the loud sound and the chanting, you're all going to group up and head down there. Obviously, if some of you don't want to, just let me know. That's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I'm
that's
not
right, Iceman. I am dangerous.
Okay, so all of you head down this stone staircase into what appears to be a cellar of some sort. Now, in the darkness of this cellar, you can hear this chanting, and up ahead of you, you can see what appears to be a circle drawn on the floor in blood. A pile of bones lies at its centre. Stood equidistantly around the outside are two hooded figures wearing what appeared to be headbands or perhaps helmets with like antlers coming out of the side of them. You can also see the figure of Lyndon Dacre stood in front of a stone idol. As he stood there, you can see in front of him appears to be a hazy, translucent, demonic figure that appears to be linked to his body by tendrils of mist. The only light shed in here is by 3 candles placed equidistantly around the summoning circle. And I'm going to ask, can one of you guys please, it's up to you guys which one of you wants to do it, can one of you please roll me a d4?
I can do it. I'm already looking at the thing, so. 3.
Okay, splendid. I'll set the timer dice to 3 then. And in case any of you have forgotten or you're not familiar, the timer dice is the sort of the triangle that will tick down by 1 each round, and when it gets to 0, something will happen. Obviously the difficulty is 15 as shown in the top corner of the map. The only light
Triangle of Doom.
Indeed. The only light, as I've said, is cast by these 3 candles around the summoning circle. The rest of the room is shrouded in darkness. So, because you can't even see the walls of the cellar, and because I've not been able to set up restricted movement, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see the counters on Roll20, I'm going to ask you when you move to move a square at a time, just like if you bump into the walls or whatever, I can let you know.
Did the antler heads, are they doing anything? Are they standing still? Have they seen us?
They appear to be facing towards Lyndon Dacre, who is stood there. They're chanting in these low, somnolent voices. You see Lyndon Dacre stood there, and he appears to be sort of mouthing words, perhaps mimicking their chant as well. And you notice that as you're looking at Friar Dunstan, that the hazy demonic figure in front of him, as Lyndon Dacre is moving his mouth, this demonic figure is doing the same exactly the same time.
Okay. So, because I dislike demons and demon summoners generally, my plan is to come over behind this guy up here and to stab him in the back and try and draw his attention away from the ceremony.
Before you do that, let me ask you a very important question. Do you have the Sword of Gale on you at the moment?
I do.
Okay. So start moving yourself towards them a square at a time. Okay. That's fine. So let me just move you back to... You'll have got to about... As you get to there, you feel the Sword of Gale starts to heat up slightly in the presence of the unholy. Not enough to be painful, but just enough so that you notice it. And as you do that, this hazy demonic figure turns its eyes and sort of like locks its gaze dead on you as though it's sensed to the sword. Lyndon turns his head at exactly the same time, and in unison, both of them go, "Intruders!" and gesture at you. Okay. So the demonic sort of hazy, sort of translucent demonic creature holds its hand forwards. Lyndon Dacre mimics the move, and he begins to pronounce a curse in a diabolic, dark language. Fry Dunstan, can you please make me a constitution check?
Ooh, no.
Okay. Can you please roll me a d12? Okay. Right, so as he mouths this demon and Lyndon Dacre in unison mouth this demoniac curse at you, those of you who are stood around watching Fry Dunstan sort of running through the darkness, you notice his flesh begins to take on like a soft texture, almost like that of melting tallow or wax. And as you're running, you find that there's an odd sort of like elasticity coming into your limbs, Fry, that's causing you to sort of stumble a bit as you're sort of running forward.
Okay,
Odgit. What do you want to do?
It's not good. Melting the fryer.
Now, just for the purposes of like clarity, in terms of the game. Now, obviously, as we get more familiar with it, I won't necessarily do this, but just since we're getting used to the rules, this person has used Moloch's curse on you, which imposes a mutation on someone if they fail a con roll. You have gained the mutation Clay, which most of these are just like role play things, but it basically says you have a hard time holding your form, so you have to concentrate to maintain your form. Now, obviously, normally that's not really a problem. Occasionally you get a bit melty when you're thinking about something else too hard. But obviously if you were like knocked unconscious or something like that, you wouldn't be able to concentrate on holding your form. There's no like real game effects, although if anyone spots your mutation, obviously that can have like negative charisma penalties because people will be like, mutant. But other than that, while you're subconscious and you're able to concentrate, you can like keep your form and just occasionally like you dribble a bit.
Okay, so the arcane gods of Roll20 are seeing fit to punish me. And everything has gone black. So, have I got a clear line of sight to any of these guys that would not involve Friar Dunstan getting his face further melted by acid if I were to.
You've certainly got a line of sight to at least one of the cultists and the hazy creature, this demon that's forming in the summoning circle, and obviously through that creature you can see Lyndon Dacre stood behind it, tendrils of misty energy linking the two together.
Could I sort of scurry off to one side a little bit to get a bit better angle or anything?
Yeah, move you forward a bit. So who is it you're aiming to shoot at?
I'd like to get maybe like an imminent threat and perhaps Lyndon.
Well, I've moved you into position now, so basically you can shoot at pretty much anyone in the room, either of the cultists, the demon, or Lyndon.
Yeah, so this thing does a mass of concentrated acid, flinging it in an arc.
Yep.
Around you. It deals 1d8 magic damage per power to anything or anyone that is not metallic. Anything around you. It's just trying to.
So
he goes like this, but
I would say if you wanted to get
got
everybody, I would say that you'd have to be right on the edge of the circle.
Okay. Is that doable?
Yeah.
Yeah, without getting the friar.
Yeah, but the friar's sort of like it's like halfway to the circle.
Yeah, he's coming towards it. Okay.
Apollo, can you see the map at all now, or
no? It's like it's just it's going. You know when it says loading, and then it's just scrolling for all that old BS, randomizing, crafting spells.
Okay, I don't know whether you can do this or not, but if you go and have a look on my Twitch, it should be streaming on there now, so you might at least be able to sort of see it via that.
Okay, well, what I'll probably do is in a second I'll refresh this.
Okay.
But
that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you just wanna roll for me, John, or something.
Yeah, that's fine. So you need to roll. You need to roll to see what power level it is, don't you? For you.
Yeah. So it's a D4, isn't it?
It's a power level 2 spell for you.
Okay, so it's going to do 2d8.
What do you need to roll to cast it first? Probably intelligence, I'm guessing.
Where does it tell you what?
If it's a spell, it's pretty much intelligence.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it's intelligence for arcane, and then wisdom if you're a priestly type.
So I've rolled your intelligence. Okay, you've failed.
Oh man, shite.
Okay. So, however, it wasn't with a natural 1, so there's no like madly untoward consequences. Mm-hmm. So you run in prepared to fling your acid. You're on the very edge of this circle. This misty demonic creature is about 10 foot away from you.
I suffer 2 hit points.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, I could have rolled it. I've got my character sheet, but nothing else.
Like I say, I expect it's just roll 20, having a bit of a mare at the minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're literally like almost face to face with this sort of hazy, indistinct demonic form. You fling out your hand to cast your spell. However, perhaps it's the demonic forces in here, but as you reach out for the magic, it's almost like it recedes back away from your grasp, and nothing but a few wisps of smoke come out of your fingers.
Molly fungus.
The demon turns its hazy, indistinct, horned visage towards you and lets out a low, rumbling laughter, echoed in synchronicity by cruel, mocking laughter from Lyndon Dacre. Okay, Jackdaw.
So here's the big question, John. One of my equipment is the Scrivener's Kit, which allows me to roll intelligence to learn spells that I've seen cast. Can I roll to learn Moloch's Curse and whatever it was that...
You most certainly can.
Yep. All right. Yeah, it's an int roll, so I'll put 2 of those down first. Moloch's Curse.
Yep.
23.
Done.
And then, what was that Git that you were casting?
acid spray or something like that.
Create acid.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a
Not
matter
so hot with the acid, but Moloch's curse was a success.
Yeah, that's on page 42 of the magic book.
Right. So I'll note that down and deal with it later.
Okay, no problems.
Curse.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Fry Dunstan.
Yeah, I presume I don't know actually how that works. Am I supposed to, like, how does it work fictionally? Do I do it now that I've seen them cast and I spend my turn scribbling notes?
Yeah. Basically, what you do is you sort of look at the spell. You sort of use your arcane senses to like feel the formula that the magic's, the paths that the magic's following, and then like because it's difficult to keep these things in your mind. That's why it's difficult to cast spells. You quickly like write it down on like a piece of paper or like a journal or something like that, so that when you've got a bit more time, you can then sit down, go over it, and be like, right, okay, yeah, I'm not going to lock that in my mind. So going forward, I can now cast that spell.
Yeah, good. So I'll do exactly that. I'll make mad notes.
No problems. You like pull your journal out, you're like smoke coming up out the pages. Okay, Fry Dunstan.
Okay, so I just want to walk these final 2 steps and have at this one here.
Go for it.
Ooh, not so much.
Okay, you swing the Sword of Gale. However, as you're swinging it, you notice that the fire that erupts from the Sword of Gale is sort of like flickering, sort of fading out and back in again, as though the sort of the demonic forces and the holy nature of the sword are sort of like clashing against each other and struggling for dominance. Okay, Tal.
Okay.
You're by the staircase. Jackdaw's like next to you, like scribbling in his journal. You've seen the friar run forward. The light from the Sword of Gale flickering and then flaring up. What do you do?
Right. I think I'm going to. Is this a person down here?
Indeed, it is. It's one of the hooded, antlered acolytes.
Then he is my intended target. I've seen the way Odgit went, so hopefully there's nothing in the way.
Go for it.
I'll just move. Could I reach there? Is that
yeah, that's fine.
a banana move?
Yeah.
And then using this, my newfound skill with the sword, I should strike.
Okay, go for it.
Antlerman. Die, Antlerman, you chose the wrong side.
Okay, roll your damage.
Okay. I think I'll probably end up writing a different macro for regular damage. So there's -3 off this.
So you rolled your basic there. Was that instead of your weapon? Or?
Yeah.
So obviously, if you're using a sword, you can use your weapon.
Yeah. Oh, to the wrong one. Yeah, so 7 points.
Okay, so you deliver a vicious blow to this robed acolyte, sort of driving him down to the floor. His hood falls back. You can see he's effectively wearing a headband with like antlers on it, and he has some strange like bluish tattoos on his face as like the hood falls back, and he's obviously sort of going like that, like trying to fend off your blows as you drive him to his knees. Okay.
Naughty boy.
However, the countdown timer has now reached 1. As you drive this acolyte to his knees, the demon, although still hazy and indistinct, and Lyndon Dacre both raise their hands to the sky in unison and begin to chant in unholy sounding syllables. And as they do that, there is and a ring of fire bursts from the summoning circle. Okay, Odgit, can you please roll me a d8?
Can you hit me up with that, John?
Of course I can, mate.
Yeah, I'm just watching the Twitch now at this point.
Okay, you have taken 2 hit points of damage.
Okay.
Luckily, as the fire bursts out, you sort of throw yourself to one side, but some of the burning flame catches you. Dog, can you please roll me a d8 to see how much the cultist who stood there takes? Okay, so likewise, the cultist tries to, sort of like up in the northern part of the room, tries to throw himself out of the way, but he is also caught in the blast. However, the fire does not appear to bother either the demon or Lyndon Dacre, who's just like stood amidst the flames with his hands raised with this gauzy, translucent demonic figure in front of him. Fry Dunstan, can you please roll me a d4 to reset the timer? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so the cultist who's dived out of the way, he's not going to get an action. However, the one who is sort of on his knees has been sort of like driven back by Tell, pulls a small curved dagger out of his robes and tries to jam it in Tell's ribs. What's your armor score, Tell?
Is 12.
Okay, so the dagger luckily like glances off your armor. There's like a as it scrapes along it, and the cultist pulls the dagger back, but you have taken no damage. Obviously, the cultist who's thrown himself out of the way, he doesn't get an action because he's like rolling himself on the floor trying to put his robes out. So it's back round to Odgit again.
And there's this burning wall of flames is still there.
Indeed, and in fact that should be shedding some light, so I'm just going to add some of that on. Because why not?
I think I'm gonna go and try and help out Tell. And I'm like shouting, wow, bleeding hell, and nip round there, get my wizard's blade out or whatever it is.
Okay.
And try and nip round Tell and shank that cult with my wizard's blade.
Okay, so do you want me to roll for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll see if that's working. Roll 20, yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately you have missed.
John,
No, actually no, it's your intelligence, isn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies. Oh, that's better, you have hit.
Yes.
So I presume that's magical damage off that bad boy, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's an enchanted sword, it will be.
Okay.
Okay, so you have done enough damage to finish off this cultist. Describe how you deal with him as you nimbly scamper around Tell, pull out this slim wizard's blade and drive it home.
Yeah, I just like pop up from nowhere, and as is my way, I just like furiously stab away at him.
Yeah, so Tell
in his kidneys or something.
Yeah, so Tell this guy's sliced at you, not got through your armour, he's pulled his dagger back, you're just getting ready to take another blow when you hear like this. And then Odgit like jumps out of the darkness like onto this guy's back, and he's like into the side of him. This guy's like and then just falls down with like blood spraying out of the side of him. He twitches for a few moments and then lies still.
I just hit the blade. And
Nice one, Oddie.
Place is mine.
Okay. So, Jackdaw, can you please make me a wisdom roll?
Wisdom roll. Apparently not.
Okay. You see as you look across inside the flaming circle, you see this translucent demonic figure, which now appears to be becoming more solid and more real, sort of turns and looks down as one of its acolytes falls with a look of like growing anger and fury on its face, matched by Lyndon, who mirrors its movements.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do for your go?
I'll come up to the friar. Now, friar, how are you doing? You got hit with the curse? Is the friar looking hurt?
No, just confused and a little bit melted, but not. Skin is kind of, sagging a bit more than anything else.
Mm.
Yeah, he looks a bit like the way his skin looks, it's like if you took like a beeswax candle, and you held it close to a heat source for just a few seconds and pulled it back. Mm-hmm. So like his face is like a little bit sort of droopy, but like you see him sort of like with an effort of will, he like concentrates, and his face seems to like resume its previous form. Obviously, you've sort of wrote down Moloch's curse, so you're pretty sure that like this is the effect of the curse. You're not sure exactly what the extent of it is, but it appears to. Obviously, you all saw the twisted, mutated monstrosity that you saw earlier. So, and you know that these curses, they're a bit sort of hit and miss. They're sort of like they can be quite random with the effect. That's why only sort of like dark wizards who don't really care about the consequences use them. So you think, to be honest, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
He could have been sporting like a crab claw arm or something similar.
Yeah. Or just melt into a puddle. So...
Crab claw, that's not worse.
It is when you turn up to church and you're like, hi guys.
Clickety-clack.
What are you doing turning up to church? That was your first mistake.
Unless you sign up for the Church of like the Watcher by the Shore and you're like, hey, got aquatic mutations, then you're probably all right.
Or Slanesh, I guess. So, given that I now understand Moloch's curse, do I think if I cast the Blessing of Durandal on the Friar, would that annul the curse because it gives you magical immunity?
Okay, do you know what page the Blessing of Durandal is on? So I have to check this.
Yeah, I'll get it for you. So it is on page. Oh, as soon as my thing. Okay, so it's on page 38.
Page 38. Okay. Durandal's Blessing. Targeted me to all harmful magic. Okay, so what I'm going to say is if you cast Durandal's Blessing on him, whilst that spell lasts, it will effectively like stop the curse.
Dampen the thing.
Yeah, but it's not going to cure it.
Yeah.
But if he gets knocked unconscious while you put Durandal's Blessing on him, he's not going to like turn into a puddle of goo.
Yep. I suppose if I have time, and John, please tell me if I don't. I wanted to check with the friar whether he intends to like get up in the Ring of Fire.
Yeah, you've got time to have a quick sort of few snatched words between yourselves. So go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So I've come up. I've taken a look at the friar, and I'll like put a hand on his shoulder, and I'll say, "Are you taking Dacron with whatever that is?"
Yes, I have a church bell with his name written on it.
Okay, I will cast Durandal's Blessing on him because that will protect him from all the magical fire and whatever bullshit will be coming his way.
Make your roll.
So I will cast it at power level 2, and I will just, come on, Gale, let me cast this spell because it's going to be great. Okay, so power level 2, so I'll subtract 2 of those, and then... Come on, praise Gale! Yes!
Okay, so as you call on Gale, obviously Gale has heard you, and as you lay your hands on the Friar and you cast this spell, Friar, you feel the constant pressure on your mind that you're having to use to maintain your form eases. You can tell it's still there in the back of your mind, but for the moment, it's been eased.
So 2 rounds, completely immune to all harmful magic. Friar, go get him.
Okay. However, unfortunately, again, the timer clock has reached 0. So I'm going to say, Tell and Odgit, can you please make me a wisdom roll? Would you like me to roll for you, Odgit?
I'm all right, John. I've got the character sheet. It just won't load the map.
Okay. So both
So
make me
I've
a
got that
wisdom
back
roll.
up now.
Okay. Tal.
Should be on 20.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so as the two of you watch, you see the creature, this hazy, indistinct creature, finally becomes completely solid. It sort of like drops to the floor with like a loud chitinous thump as it fully enters our realm. The tendrils that were linking it to Lyndon are sucked back into the demon's body, and Lyndon's eyes roll back into his head. He collapses onto the floor, and you quickly see his garments begin to catch fire as he appears to be no longer immune to the magical flame. Okay, Giannis, can you please roll me a d4? Okay, splendid. So I'm going to tell you that timer on there, that's basically how long you've, obviously it ticks down on each person's go, that's how long you've got before Lyndon Dacre is like consumed by the flames, because he's basically lying in a fire.
Yeah,
He appears
you can
to be
leave it
unconscious.
until the last turn, I think. Not just on principle.
Okay, so who do we get to on the last go? Sorry.
No, I was just thinking let him boil for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I haven't gone yet, I don't think.
okay, so Odger, did you take an action recently, or?
I don't think so.
I
just
think
rolled.
I think it was Odget murdering the guy, and then it was me.
Yeah, so it'll be the Friar now then. So yeah, you cast a spell on the Friar. Sorry, go for it, Friar.
Okay, so I want to point the Sword of Gale at this demon and say, "Be gone from this plane, you foul creature." And at that, I will cast my Soundburst spell. Ooh. So
Holy
just gone
shit.
Slightly wrong there. So now here's a question. So I have a spell book that does. Oh, sorry. So I have a ring that does double magic. So if this spell casts ultimate magic, do I still double that?
No, you just double the normal and then add the ultimate.
Sorry, but the spell itself does ultimate damage each round.
Oh, in which case, yeah.
Okay. So then the question is then, because I got a 12, do I also double it because I have the spell book which doubles?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay. That is 22 points of damage for anyone in this general area.
Okay. So that absolutely annihilates Lyndon Dacre.
We hardly knew ye.
As this burst of sound goes out, rather like the start of like Terminator, you see like his flesh and his clothes like exploded off his body, and then the bones disperse into dust. The demon growls, however, it doesn't seem to take the full brunt of your attack, although you see it sort of driven back by the force of your spell. It turns to look at you and it's like, "Your god will not avail you here." Tal.
I'm going to try something completely different. And now for something completely different. I'm going to run a rush behind the statue and bracing my legs against the wall, try and push the statue over onto the creature if it's big enough, or even just to form a break in the fire so I can get in.
Okay, yep, make your strength roll. This is a difficult task, so it'll be 3 higher than the normal one because it's a big stone statue.
Yeah. Figured. Come on, 20.
He's done it. Okay, so you heave the statue over. The statue isn't big enough to fall on the creature. However, it is now lying across the fire. So where Lyndon Dacre is, now destroyed by a soundburst and doubly crushed by a statue, I think it's fair to say you're not getting that 2,000 coins, guys. But the statue is now lying on top of him, and although there's fire licking at either side, there is a bridge into the flames.
I did say we could leave him for a bit, but...
Okay, so as the statue crashes to the ground, the demon turns around and sees Tal sort of like stood behind the statue, and it's going to make an attack on you, Tal.
Hello.
Okay, so let me make a roll for him.
Oof.
Okay. So with that absolutely abysmal roll on my behalf, the demon strides forward and takes a swipe at you, Tal. You jump backwards to where the statue was, and you see this like razor sharp claw slice through the air where you were stood moments before. At which point handily the token disappears. That's great.
It's gone. We've banished it. Hurrah.
Sorry, you're going to say it went invisible.
Oh, no.
Do you know what, actually?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So as it moves towards you, it swipes, growls in frustration that it's not hit you, and then it just sort of like bursts apart as a mist and disappears from your view.
Nice. Shit. Oh. Over to you, magical guys.
I don't know if it was me cutting out, but I heard almost none of that. Just magical guys at the end.
He was saying
It
to you,
vanished
magic
in
guys.
mist.
Oh, okay. So is it me then, or
It would, since it was its go, it would now be round to Odgit.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's gone.
It seems to have dispersed into a mist and vanished. Yeah.
And has the fire gone out?
Nope.
And your man is burnt to a crisp. Dacre.
Yeah, Dacre's
Dacre.
bones and scraps of ashy
Yeah.
cloth.
Dacre is knackered.
Crushed.
Yeah, and he's been like pulped by a big statue falling on like the burnt remnants of him. He's gone. He's like,
He's done.
he looks like someone's just put a sprinkle of like snuff on the ground. That's like what state his body's in.
He's an ex-cultist.
Yeah, pretty much.
I believe the brief was dead or alive.
Yeah, so obviously Tal read the earlier draft brief where it was like, we'd like all remnants of his physical body utterly annihilated from this plane of existence, please.
Is that not the current version?
Well. Well, that was all of a bit sudden. So, both of the cultists are dead, isn't they? Or is there one survivor?
The one who leapt out and was like caught in the flames a bit is still alive. He's obviously now like climbing to his feet. He's put his robes out. You can see him pulling another dagger out.
I'm gonna dash across to him and finish him off. Don't. Yeah. Die.
Okay, that's fine. I'm
Kill. Die.
you
die.
across. Make your attack
Oh, no,
roll.
I'm not Skaven, am I? I'm Goblin. Trademark games.
Yeah, we want to dodge those lawsuits.
Yeah.
That's a.
Oh,
Make
a
your
ratish,
make your intelligence roll to attack if you're using your wizard blade.
ratish-like creature. Intelligence.
Okay, swing and a miss. Jackdaw. It seems as though there's only one cultist remaining.
How is Odgit looking? Are you all banged up?
I'm about half the goblin I normally am.
Yeah, you're halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, whoa.
You know, I'm looking a bit. I'm looking a bit. Looking a bit charred and a bit
Crispy on
saggy.
one side, raw on the other.
He's looking a bit Cajun at the minute.
I'm looking a bit medium. Yeah, medium rare.
Okay. I'll step up and I will conjure the blood mist on this
Nice.
fool. I don't even need to go that. I'll step there and
That sounds quite exciting.
I'll put the mist here between enveloping both the cultist and
I understand.
Yep. And we'll see. Come on, Gale. You support blood magic, right? You did before. No, apparently not.
See, unfortunately, you mentioned blood magic, and Gail's like,
Yeah, because Gale doesn't know that.
so much.
Devil's blessing is also blood magic.
He obviously heard
we don't talk about
he obviously heard the word blessing, and he was like, "That sounds about right."
Yeah, it's like blessing, right? Like, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's good. I'm all about
We can
blessing.
get with that.
Okay, so
I think you
unfortunately,
need to rebrand that blood magic.
okay,
Yeah,
so
might be.
unfortunately, you're not able to weave the magic together to cast your spell. Friar Dunstan. There's just this one cultist remaining. It seems like.
Oh, if your spell don't work, you don't take the hit, do you?
I presume you lose the HP you power the spell with.
Yeah, you would do, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I might
I'm gonna go read the book. Let's.
Yeah,
We'll carry on with the Friars Go. You can look that up, guys.
yeah.
Because Oddgit is not the goblin he normally is, I'm going to try and cast Healing Nova and heal everyone in the room.
Okay.
No. And I think that's a critical fail, so that's a roll on the...
Yeah, Gale gets mad.
Okay, so you're on the core book. Let me see if I can find the table. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so roll a d4.
2.
2. The gods are angered. Accelerate any GM timers to 1 instantly. Okay. So I'm going to turn this over to you, Friar. So obviously for some reason, Gale has taken umbrage against your attempt to heal people in this circumstance. What sort of, how does that appear to people? How does Gale make his displeasure felt?
So I think, when the friar normally does magic, there's kind of like a real sense of ease and peace, that kind of surrounds him a bit. Serenity, I guess, nearly. And this time there's not. This time it's kind of all kind of the sense around the immediate area is all kind of intense anger. And yeah, just the whole it just feels wrong.
Indeed, the light in the room cast by the flames seems to take on an angry blood red glow, and you all feel the shadows pressing in around you. Tell, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, sword in hand, I have a bad feeling about this. Perhaps I've broken the ring. Perhaps it was holding the creature in, and it's all my fault that it's escaped now. So I'll be looking around for it, standing on the ruined statue and looking around for this creature.
Okay,
expecting it to reappear somewhere.
Make me a wisdom roll. And I'm going to say this is an easy roll for you because you've got like a vantage point, and obviously you were right near to the creature a minute ago. Nice one. Cheers for looking that up, Colin.
Yeah. My character sheet keeps closing when I press escape. Oh, there it is.
In case you need a 12 or more.
50. Wisdom. No.
Nice. 15. Okay, so as you're sort of looking around for this creature, you don't see the creature itself, but as you sort of look at the fire, sort of here-ish, you can see that occasionally the flames appear to flicker as though like something large is moving past it, and like its passage is like disturbing the flames slightly.
Look out! I think it's coming for you.
Okay, and as we hear that cry go up from Tell, there is a large growl from the space next to all the rest of you, and the demon appears in your midst, flailing about randomly and growling. So I'm going to make a roll to see which of you it attacks. I'm going to roll a d4. 1, it's Jackdaw. 2, it's the Friar. 3, it's Odgit. 4, it's the Cultist, because it just doesn't seem to care. It's just literally lashing out as it appears. It's a 4.
Lucky number 4.
So what I'm going to say is, as it appears, it actually sort of appears and like bursts through the body of the cultist, rending it in two.
Oh, nice.
Oh no, my healing battery is gone. He was gonna power it.
Oh, was
Okay, Odgit.
I don't know how useful it's gonna be, but I'm gonna try and chuck some acid on the demon.
Okay, this is going to be a hard roll because also the demon is fully manifested now.
Woo, mama. Okay, so here we go. Avachi.
Okay.
Whoa, there you go. And I need to do my D4.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the power level.
Oh.
4.
Ooh,
4.
Jesus. Oh, there. Easy, Tiger. That's 4d8.
That's all of the acid. Really?
Yeah, that is all of the acid. 4d8.
Like that's a night out in the club worth of
yeah,
acid.
yeah.
Acid.
16.
Okay, so you hurl this arc of acid at the creature. It hits the creature, whose only response seems to be to laugh, and it goes. Jackdaw.
Okay then. I was going to suck its blood, but I think it might be a bad time now because it doesn't give a shit about acid either, and it's really close.
Do I get a move as well, John, incidentally? Yeah, I'm ducking away after that because that's the best I got.
Okay, I presume you still can't see the map, so well, you can't.
I can kind of sort of see it on Twitch, but I can't do anything about it.
Okay, roughly where do you want to move to?
The opposite way to that demon.
Okay, go.
Yeah, and I will, if it's my turn, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. So I will go. I'm gonna go this way, and oh boy. John, is there anything to be done with the fact that I have some idea of how the ritual works and I know the name?
Okay, well, I'm glad you asked that.
Could I get in with some banishment shit? Or control?
Okay, you know, I'm going to say because you read this shit, you know that any wizard who knows a demon's true name can use that name to bind it. You have to deliver effort equal to the demon's current hit points on an intelligence check. Once bound, the demon does the wizard's bidding with resent and growing hatred.
Okay, so I'm gonna run away and I'm gonna start the binding. Presumably it's some kind of a chant then, because you need to work on it.
Yeah.
Over time. So I'm running and I'm babbling this demon chant.
Okay, so make an intelligence roll. I'm going to say that's an easy roll because you know the demon's true name.
Okay, here it goes. I'm just checking, do I have anything else to add on? Nope. 22. So we're starting.
Okay, so roll your magical effort.
5.
Okay, so as you start, like, you obviously you call out the demon's true name, Ammonial, as you start this chant to bind it, it turns its head towards you, like whip cracks around as you say its name, and it's like
Oh boy, I keep running.
yeah, feel free to move yourself where you want to move.
You know, I'll just, I presume because I started next to the demon, I can't get extremely far, so I'll just, like, I'm gonna do laps if I can.
Okay, so Friar, it's clear that whatever Jackdaw's doing with his chant, the demon does not like it, and for now, all of its attention seems to be focused on Jackdaw. It's looking at him and howling in hatred.
Sorry, we missed you there for a second, John, or I certainly did.
Yeah, the demon, its attention seems to be entirely captivated by whatever Jackdaw's doing. It's like hissing at him with venom and hatred in its voice. For a moment, its gaze seems to be locked firmly on Jackdaw. What do you want to do?
Okay, so what I want to do is put myself between the demon and Jackdaw.
Okay.
And then I would like to soundburst him again.
Okay, go for it.
Oh shit!
Okay, so you hit it with the
and
sound
I get
burst.
to double one of them as well.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's fine. Okay, so you hit it with this soundburst and it drives it back into the wall. You notice that it's started to sort of almost like flicker in and out of existence. It's still going, but like it keeps moving between this sort of previous ethereal state and its more material self, and it seems to be like moving a great deal more slowly now. It looks at you, or looks away from Jackdaw, locks eyes with you, Friar Dunstan, and you feel the burning fires of hellish hatred behind its eyes. And it's like, you cannot defeat me. I was here before your god had been thought of. Obviously, if you want to deliver a vicious quip back.
Yeah, I was on it. Like, I just really can't think of that.
It's all good, man.
So, begone, you foul beast. This place is not for you.
It hisses in rage and hatred at you. And a string of obscene blasphemies flow from its lips in your direction. Tal, what are you doing? You can see this creature's sort of like it's crouching down as though it's sort of like getting ready to like run forwards, but it's obviously like struggling. It's moving a bit slower because the friar has hurt it but good.
Right. I wonder if mundane weapons will hurt it, so I'll charge in.
Go for it.
Gun range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, make your attack roll. It's going to be a hard roll because it's a demon.
Yeah, it's a demon. And my strength is there. Swing. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Whoa, big miss.
So you swing at it with your sword, and as you do so, it just sort of like your sword goes to hit it, but you hit it at one of the moments when it's sort of flickering out, and the sword passes straight through it.
Oh, I'll just keep going, expecting to meet some resistance. I'll just take maybe a step further towards it.
Okay.
Damn.
So its action is going to be to move past you all towards Jackdaw, but thanks to the amazing amounts of damage that the Friar's done on it, it's moving quite slowly. It's almost like it's moving through like quicksand its movements now. So even though it's trying to run, it's like it's having to like force itself to stay in the world, and it's not able to get to him. Oddgit, what are you doing?
So whilst I was up studying the papers with Jackdaw, am I privy to this knowledge that that Jackdaw is?
No, because you didn't succeed on your roll.
Ah, okay. Then I will GTFO.
Okay. So, Jackdaw, you can see this thing like coming towards you. It's like reaching out one of its almost like sort of armoured claws towards you, obviously trying to stop what you're doing. But you can see it's struggling to like remain manifest due to the damage that the friar's done to it. You've got one chance.
Yep. So I'm just vaulting over the statue. Oh, well, I guess because it's down, I'll just go by it.
Yeah.
Run to the other side, and I'll keep shouting, "O Kumenor, Kibere Sugvoker, Amaniel," and let's go with the.
Again, it's an easy roll because you've got its true name.
Come on! No! It's a 1.
No.
Okay. So you shout and you see like a look of triumph in its face, and it screams out. It's like, "You will not master me, wizard!" And it basically starts to like take a big leap to like leap over the fire to get to you, Jackdaw. However, we've still got the good friar,
Yeah.
master of the soundburst.
So it's squatting down.
Yeah,
ready
it's
to do
basically
the
just getting
tiger
ready
leap.
to do the superhero jump.
You're muted.
Sorry. So I want to sound burst him again.
Go for it.
But I'll just take 2 steps back so I don't hit myself. No.
Okay. So, Tal, you're the last one to go before this creature makes its leap. What do you do?
The only thing I would say, John, is I can't hear Jackdaw what he's saying. I couldn't copy what he was saying just on the basis of hearing it.
I tell you what, make, and obviously we'll jump
Down
back
a
to this.
line or whatever, but
Yeah, well, make me an intelligence roll now. It's a difficult roll.
okay.
I mean, the chances of this are like slim to none, but
Yeah.
okay, so you've started to get an idea of what he's doing. On Jackdaw's next round, you might be able to assist him
Right.
to like boost up his effort, but like yourself, you're like, oh, I've not done all the reading. He has to be able to do it myself.
Yeah. Because I am a pretty smart dude. That's like my best
that's
thing.
it. I mean, to be honest, normally people wouldn't be able to just like listen to it and be like, oh yeah, that's what he's trying to do, right? Okay, but because you're sort of immersed in that world, that's the only reason I've given you a chance of doing it.
Yeah. It just seems sensible.
Okay, Tal. The demon's getting ready to do its leap.
Tal flings the sword to one side and decides that perhaps his body weight may put it off kilter somewhat, so he leaps onto its back, or tries to.
Okay, so you're not trying to do damage, you're just trying to leap on it.
Yeah, just add my weight to it to
Okay.
disrupt its leap.
Okay, I'm going to say you can make either a strength or a dex roll to like successfully like grab onto it.
Yeah, let's. I think Dex sounds better in that case. So we shall leap high into the air. Arms flaming for its throat, its back. Come on. Internet connections will stay everyone. There we go. Oof. Blimey.
Okay, I'm going to have to wait.
That's a 20.
It's a 20.
Yeah, it's not showing up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is you leap on its back. It makes the leap. However, it lands in the sort of ring of fire just short of Jackdaw, because you're like weighing it down and you're interfering with it, etc. So, however, roll me I'm going to roll a d6 because you will take fire damage from this tail. Because you are now like in the flames. You only take 1 hit point of damage, luckily though. Obviously the demon's body, because you're right on its back, shields you from the majority of it. It's just the heat that's getting to you.
Gotcha. Good.
Okay. Unfortunately for you, now the demon is going to attack you with its attack move. It's trying to like throw you off its back, which has successfully stopped it from just like clawing up Jackdaw, but obviously the downside is it's attacking yourself.
Fine.
Okay.
Do your worst. Do it. Do it now.
Get to the demon.
What's your AC?
12.
Okay, so it's hit you. You take 10 hit points of damage.
Okay. Flings me off against the wall, presumably.
How many hit points have you got left?
9.
Sweet. Okay, yeah, so it literally flings you if I can click on you rather than demon. Because roll 20 has been a pain.
Hell is hard AF, man.
So it throws you the length of the room and you impact with the northern wall and slide down it. However, because it's used its move to do that to you, it's not been able to attack Jackdaw. So Odgit, you can see this thing's like closing in on Jackdaw and it's like, no, like reaching out for him.
Yeah, so I'm like wildly babbling whatever I heard Jackdaw doing, trying to assist his...
So what I'm going to say is, Jackdaw, if you want to make your binding roll again, it's still an easy roll, but you're going to get an extra +2 to it because Odgit's like helping you out.
Yeah, so I'll add that on. Okay, so Odgit, are you moving as well as babbling? Because I will be running the fuck away from the demon.
Yes, I am. I am also making like Linford Christie in the opposite direction. I don't know. You guys might be a bit too young for Linford Christie.
It's alright, I remember Linford.
Okay.
That might be too like UK for me.
It was a famously fast athlete.
Sprinter, yeah. He's cool. He's a good guy. Mm-hmm. Not as good as Daley Thompson, but he was getting it.
Oh, now you're talking.
Oh, man.
Okay, so, Jackdaw, do you want to make your roll?
Yeah. Okay.
So, you need...
So, +2.
Yeah, and it's an easy roll.
This should go off, guys. Let's see if it does. It does.
Okay, so the demon's reaching out towards you as you finish your like its claws are literally coming towards your face as you like shut your eyes, waiting for like your face to be ripped off, and you shout out the last of the incantations. Then, like a few moments later, like nothing's happened. You open one eye and you can see the demon is basically knelt down on one knee next to you with its head lowered.
Yeah, I'll take several steps back. I'll probably bump into the wall, and then I'll shout to everyone, "I have it! I have it!" And I'll raise a hand in the air.
Well done.
You hear a very sort of begrudging and sort of angry voice from the demon as it's like, "What is your bidding?"
Do you have the power to bring Lord Dacre back from whatever hell his soul must have been consigned to?
It says, "No. However, he does," and it points at Odgit.
I'll look to Odgit. I'm looking at Odgit with a face like, "Quoi?"
What?
The demon continues as, "He carries the golden light of life. I can sense it."
Oh,
Odgit, do you carry the golden light of life?
He pulls out a little
is?
potion bottle with like a little bit of light in it.
This? Maybe I found it upstairs.
Okay.
I'll have a look, have a sniff. I don't know.
As you sort of open it, like a little bit of the light shines out, but as you sort of sniff it, there's a pleasant smell like fresh meadows and honey and
Oh,
flowers.
disgusting.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Pen and inks. Well, you get away from me. I don't want nothing to do with that nonsense.
Yeah, that's
He holds it out towards you.
Oh,
The demon's still there, like its head bowed on one knee.
Okay,
Oof.
so if it's offered, I'll grab it.
yeah. Oh, take it away. Be my guest.
So I'll address the demon. So this brings one back to life.
If you break the vial on the body,
Or fragments thereof. I'll hold the golden light of life up and sort of motion for everyone to come over. Do we want to bring back Lord Dacre? Rather. Do we want to save this for another day?
Do we need to bring him back? I mean, he's a pain in the bleeding arse, isn't he?
Definitely feels like he's where he belongs.
Oh, it's worth 1,000 coins to us, I think.
I was just thinking there's 3 options for us here. We bring him back, which we might not want to do. That's what I'm hearing. Second option, we take one of these bodies, and I'll motion to, like, the cultist that Odd gets stabbed to death. We take off the head, and we'll take the body back as Lord Dacre. Third option, we go back and we tell what actually happened.
But Lord Dacre's body is there, right?
well,
It's still
the sort of
wrecked,
smashed, pulped remnants of it are there. Yeah.
We could scoop it up and put it in a bag.
I mean, they never said it needed to be in good condition, did they? Bleeding hell, fussy, isn't they?
I think.
Okay, I
the
guess
body,
get some sheets from upstairs.
Yeah, the body, the notes would be enough for us to get paid. And I don't think the second 1,000 gold pieces is worth the risk
Right.
it would be to.
All right, good. Now, I'll hold out the golden light of life to the friar. It's probably best if you hold on to that.
Okay, I will hold on to that. And then before we go, I'd like to cast my healing nova and try and heal everyone, in case there's anything else. And that would be a no.
Oh, god damn it. Your other guy was better at healing.
What a great heal for
Perhaps we
free.
should wait until we're Let's wait until we're in a more
Holy
convenient area.
holy place.
Yes.
Ammonio,
Yes.
do you wish to return to whence you came?
No.
What do you wish to do?
And as he's saying that, the fire dies away on the circle, plunging the outskirts of the room back into darkness. I would restore myself to my rightful place.
In this world?
Yes.
You are not of this world, though.
Your ignorance betrays you.
Where did you come from at Lord Dacre's bidding?
From the place where we were cast when the new gods took charge of this world. When they remade us as we are now and cast us out from our
Who are
rightful
you?
places.
What is your real name, then? Ammonial or something else?
Ammonial is my name. It is the name I was given when I was remade. I have no other name now.
I look at the friar with theological curiosity on my face. I don't know what that looks like, but
Don't believe a word it says. Just send it back from whence it came.
how do I return you to this prison?
I will tell you, but before I do, know this, that whilst I am bound to your service, I cannot lie to you. What I say is the truth.
What was his previous job then? Ask him what what was he doing before he was cast out? That's what I'd like to know. I'm curious. Don't mind if I am curious.
That has probably been scrubbed along with the rest of him.
Well, bleeding ask him, then you'll find out, because he just said he's got to tell you the truth, innit? Ask him,
right.
Jackdaw, bleeding hell.
All right, my little green friend would
I'd
like to
know
know
here. I'm in suspense here.
which particular piece of this land did you rule over in times before?
I was a god of the woods and the wild places,
There we go.
one of many.
Well, that ain't round here. I don't give a shit. Let him back out, as far as I'm
It
concerned.
is
Now,
not.
if
It is not round here now.
Oh. Sorry, Gov.
Right. So, how do I return you to your resting place intended for you?
Simply command me to leave this place and return where I came.
Ammoniel, do you have or rather, John, are the notes, which we've studied briefly, is that the ritual? Is it this a ritual to summon Ammoniel in there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So Ammoniel, return to your incarceration. Leave this plane.
He looks sort of angry and like stares furious at you, and then he's like,
As you wish.
and again he's just like flares up into fire, and you have to shield your face from the brightness. But as the fire dies down to nothing, Ammoniel is no longer there.
Well, that's the first exorcism I've done. I think that went
Now,
rather
I thought
well.
you was going to let him out, Jackdaw. You could have let him out in the woods. What are you worried about?
What would that have accomplished?
I don't know. Might have been a laugh at me. You never know. It could have got in there and done a few things and mixed it up a little bit. Could have been. I mean, I ain't never seen. You know, ain't you curious? Ain't you curious?
Well, let's say I've seen the pictures in the book, and mixing up sounds a whole lot like bodies impaled on pikes to form towers of writhing, accursed flesh.
And the problem is?
We're trying to avoid that.
Oh. Oh dear, oh dear.
We're actively working against that.
All right.
Okay,
yeah.
so am I correct in assuming, because obviously all threats have been dealt with, am I correct in assuming that you guys are going to gather up the remains of Lyndon Dacre, sort of take them along with you with evidence that you've killed the cultists, and sort of present them to claim your prize, effectively?
I will also ransack the bodies of the cultists remaining in the ritual chamber.
Yeah, do you know what? Why not?
Well, wait till we get upstairs. So, just going to ask if the other mercenary is still around. I'll see if we've done a runner.
Okay, roll me a D100, Jackdaw.
That's a 50, solid halfway.
Okay, not a problem. You find one of them is carrying what appears to be a small stick, like a wand, and the outside of it appears to be carved into sort of like this lumpy, bumpy, almost like brain-like texture.
Okay. Sort of like you get with dead trees, with the worms underneath the bark.
And I'm going to tell you that, because you'll have a chance to experiment on this in the downtime, that this is a wand that you can make a charisma roll to basically alter your voice and the ambient light conditions around you.
Okay.
It's effectively like a cantrip wand, so you can make yourself sound all menacing and have like the light dimage. You're like, be gone from this place.
I am no conjurer of cheap tricks, except that's literally what
It's
this
the
is.
Wizard of Oz one.
The
Wizard of Oz one.
It's basically like a cantrip wand.
Yeah.
Pay no heed to the man behind the curtain.
Indeed.
Good times, good times. I'll take that, definitely.
Okay, no problems. You search the rest of the house and you can find no sign of the other guard.
Oh well. We'll find him another day.
Okay, so you guys take the evidence that you completed your mission back to the witch finders. You are given 1,000 coins as your reward.
Nice.
Okay, so now we're going to determine any changes to your notoriety in Great London. So, mission went smoothly and quietly with a minimal force. Not really. I would say it was probably contained with a minimum of damage. So, it's up to you which one of you wants to roll for this. However, it did involve a high profile of well-connected targets, so I'll take it up to a D8. So, whichever one of you wants to roll me a D8.
I can do it.
Yeah, good man.
It's rolling at 3.
Okay, and luckily for you guys, the wanted amount you accumulate from this is 3 less, because effectively you're sanctioned by the witch hunters. So, although you've used lots of magic and shit, the witch hunters are like, yeah, but you got rid of a demon and you stopped a cultist, so they'll smooth that out for you. So you have gained no additional notoriety from this mission. Okay.
Good work.
So, to see if there are any unfortunate entanglements in the downtime period, Colin, can you please roll me a D6?
To 6.
Okay, so that's roll on the wanted 1 table, so roll again, Colin.
It's a 6.
Okay, so that's roll on the wanted 3 table, so roll again, Colin.
Hat trick. Come on.
If he gets another 6, I'm going to
5.
Okay, so that is interrogation.
We're getting nicked. Or nicked.
Okay, so
Are they bagging me?
So one of the PCs is rounded up by the Peekers and interrogated to find out what they know about recent events and what's going on in the city, specifically related to your mission. So I'm going to ask Fry Dunstan, can you please roll me a D6? 1 Odgit, 2 Jackdaw, 3 the Friar. Actually, no, just roll a D4, that'd be easier. Don't know why I said D6. Okay, so it's you, Fry Dunstan. Okay, so you must either pay off the Peekers to be like, oh no, you don't need to interrogate me about this, or make a Constitution roll and a Charisma roll.
Easy Constitution roll, or a...
It would be a standard Constitution roll, so like difficulty 12. Failure indicates you start the next adventure on half hit points, and then you make a Charisma roll. If you fail, basically you tell them everything they want to know about your recent deeds, and you gain 1d6 notoriety.
Okay, and how much do I have to pay them?
Okay, let's see. So it was a wanted level 2. So that would be 1,000 coins or 3 items.
Okay.
Well, easy come, easy go.
Indeed. And sorry, just explain the rolls to me again.
Okay, yeah. So
for
if you go for it, you'd have to make a con roll, difficulty 12.
Okay.
If you fail, you start the next adventure on half hit points because they're obviously like beating you up and sort of interrogated you. Then you then make a charisma roll. If you fail, you've basically told them everything. You sort of broke under interrogation. You tell them everything they want to know, and your group will gain 1d6 notoriety.
Okay, and that's also a 12.
Yes.
Okay. Or any 3 items I have on me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll try and make the rolls.
Okay, so make the con roll first.
Oh no.
Okay, so you'll be on half HP for the next adventure.
Oh, I made the charisma one.
Okay, so they basically rough you up a bit, but you remain steadfast to your faith and you don't tell them anything. And eventually they're like, oh, we're not getting anything out of this guy, and they just release you.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds like someone's
Don't
getting...
worry about it, Fry. We'll fuck them up next time.
Yep. Someone's getting blood misted.
Yeah.
I'm not naming names, but...
I do hate those peekers.
Indeed.
Nope.
Okay.
Right up my snout.
So we're going to move on to the downtime phase. So obviously at the end of each session you get to choose a downtime action. You can either carouse, contribute towards a project, research or create a spell, or lay low to reduce your notoriety. So
what is our notoriety at the moment across all of London?
Let me just check the list. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so in most places you have a wanted rating of 0. In downtown, because of your first mission, you have a wanted rating of 5.
Okay. That has to get up like the hearts, is it? And then 3 hearts and 4
Yeah,
hearts.
but basically, for every 10 wanted rating you have, you get a heart.
Okay.
So at the minute, you've got your wanted rating is less than 1 heart, so it's not too bad at the minute. Okay, so Odgit, what would you like to do in your downtime? Carouse, do a project, research, create a spell, lay low.
Well, I was trying to get my stuff back last time, and I can't remember. No. So last time, I swapped some gear around, and you said if I wanted to get my stuff back, I could do a downtime thing to get my stuff back.
Yeah, so we'll treat that effectively as like a project for you, and a project works in the same way as like anything else. You contribute effort towards it, and when you've got enough effort, you've achieved it. Or if you guys want, you can do this as like a mission next time, and go on like a mission to get your shit back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super worried about my shit. It's just a matter of principle. They're thieving peekers. I'm slipping into goblin.
You fucking thieving peekers. Fucking coming round here stealing my tap.
Yeah. So, like, a matter of principle, Odgit, I've got to separate myself. I'm going to talk about Odgit as another person in case I slide back.
What sort of level of item was it that you lost? What?
It was just that like odds. What is it? Bits and bobs or odds and ends or something.
So that's a starter item for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to do it as a project, you need to acquire 2 hearts worth of effort, which would be 20 points of effort, and you'd be able to roll every 2 sessions to accumulate that. And then when you got to 20, you've got your tap back. Or as I say,
it seems like hard work.
Or as you say, yeah, that it takes a bit longer because you're trying to do it in downtime and like between other stuff. But
it's like
through
legal channels, and
if you guys all want, you can easily, like I say, you guys have got plenty of sort of. You choose who you want to work for, so you could just be like, actually, yeah, we're not going to go on a mission for anyone. We're just going to try and like raid the peakers and get Odgit's tap back if you wanted to do that.
No, I don't. I don't want to impose that on anybody, but that seems like hard work. I'll maybe just bear that in mind. What I'm a little bit interested about is it seems to me that Jackdaw knows a little bit about that demon. I wouldn't mind knowing a little bit more about that little conversation we had in the basement of that place, talking about woods and the origins of this this demon that we may or may not be able to summon up. So maybe I'll put my head together with Jackdaw and be asking him lots of annoying questions.
Okay, so if you were going to research the demon ammonial, again, that would be a project, and when you got sort of based on the tier of the creature, and when you got enough, which again is like 2, so it's like 20 effort because it's like a big fucking demon. But when you've accumulated that much effort, effectively it would be like, here's a load of information about ammonial and his ilk.
That seems like something Odgit would latch onto, you know. Never seen a demon in the flesh, quite impressed and most intrigued, and secretly gonna be noodling about with that, trying to figure out what that's all about.
The way this would work, and obviously I'm not saying you have to do this, but obviously I'm just telling you in case you want to do it, is what you'd have to do is, because it's magical based, because it's a demon obviously, but you're researching it, so I would say you can either use intelligence or wisdom, difficulty 12. If you succeed, you roll your magical effort, and I'll get you to keep track of how much effort you've got accumulated towards it. Then in a couple of sessions you get to roll again. Then you keep, every couple of sessions you keep ticking it up until you get to 20 effort, and then it'd be like, here's the information on ammonia.
I'll do that.
Okay, so make your either intelligence or wisdom roll, but I'm gonna give you a +2 because of all the the sort of written material you've got on it, because you've got a head start effectively.
All right, so I'm rolling. Boom. Intelligence.
That's absolutely fine. So roll your magical effort.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Nice. Okay, so make a note somewhere on your character sheet that you are researching ammonial, and you have 11 out of 20 effort.
Okay. Done.
And now you won't be able to roll for this next session, but the session after, you'll be able to roll for it again.
Cool.
Okay, I'm just making a note of that as well.
I do enjoy the idea that it's easier for us, by virtue of who we are, to research demons than it is to steal like odds and ends.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because the thing about stealing odds and ends is it's like a physical sort of task. You've got to go out and do it. Whereas you guys being all up in the magic, sitting down and like researching magic, especially when you've got all the like books and that, is a lot easier for you because you've got to sit in a room and do the reading effectively.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's you, Odgit. So Jackdaw, what would you like to do?
I would like to research blood magic, John.
Oh.
Imagine our surprise.
Yeah.
You sound surprised, Friar. I love to imagine that's exactly how the Friar responds. Like, comes in, oh, what are you doing, Jackdaw? I'm studying blood magic.
Oh, yeah.
So you're researching a spell, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm researching the transfusion spell, which is a level 2 blood magic on page 40, if you need the info.
Yeah, I will have a look at that. So that's a level 2 spell, you said?
Yep.
Okay, so that requires 10 effort, and you can only roll every 2 sessions.
Yep. And it does have requirements, but I presume we're going to work on that the same way that we established last time, that I'll research the thing, and then if by that time I haven't either been reborn or have slayed a vampire, we can do a mission.
Exactly, yeah. So it'll basically be a case of once you've got enough effort, it'll then be a case of like, all right, I've done all this research, and apparently like I need like the blood of a vampire to be able to like finish this off and actually like embed that knowledge in my mind. So then you can choose to go and do like a mission or whatever to accomplish that.
Yeah. So I will get to researching. So that's an intelligence roll, I believe.
Yep.
Just trying to see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Now it's the actual roll. Oh, my rolls are shit today. It's a 1.
Okay. So no dice with that, I'm afraid. But obviously, because you've like failed, you can like try again next session.
Yeah. So both times now I've researched and it's been a shit show. Magic's hard, y'all.
Well, maybe you're more like a visceral sort of seat of your pants magician rather than like a scholarly sort of sit down and read books type.
Yeah,
More
I joined-
sorcery.
I joined the team quite late, and I am a sorcerer, so there is that.
Okay, Fried Dunstan, what would you like to do?
So am I still cursed with this clay thing, or did that go away when the demon was?
No, the curse is still in effect.
Okay. So there doesn't seem to be a remove curse spell. So I guess I'm wondering, is there? Am I better off trying to add a remove curse spell, or is it easier to try and remove the curse?
Well, there's a couple of ways you could do it. You could try and create a spell that would remove the curse. You could do it as a project, so that would be you trying to find like a more sort of natural way of breaking the curse. Or if you guys want, you could choose to go on a mission to find a way to break your curse. Obviously, the downtime stuff tends to take a little bit longer because it's off camera effectively.
Yeah, so I'm happy enough to try and get rid of it during the downtime because it's not kind of game breaking. And another question I had, and this is kind of around hit points and whether it's possible to get extra hearts as like a project, or do we literally have to wait for the next milestone?
You would have to get a milestone to.
Okay.
However, if you want to buy sort of tiered abilities, you can do that via the carousing system.
Okay, so how does that work?
Okay, so I'll give you the lowdown on carousing. Okay, so the way carousing works is you have to state how many coins you're spending to carouse. Then basically I've got a list of like how much each tier of reward costs. So it's like 250 for tier 1, 1,000 for tier 2, 5,000 for tier 3, and like 50,000 for tier 4. Once you've done that, you make a con check. If the con roll succeeds, you get the listed benefit. If it fails, you have to roll on like the carousing sort of consequences table.
Okay. So I think the best thing to do is to try and create a spell to remove this curse and potentially other curses from other people in the future.
Okay. Okay, so now your spell creation works a little bit differently because you're using the core system rather than the expanded magic system. So the way it works for you is you have to make a hard intelligence roll. The spell must have like a verb noun combination, so like create stone, for instance. And it requires 1 to 4 hearts of effort.
Okay.
And obviously, if it's just a spell to cure this specific curse, it's easier. If it's a general like removal curse, it'll be more difficult.
Okay. And then it's int for all spells, even wisdom-based spells.
It does say int in there, but I would allow wisdom for you, given that you're a cleric.
Okay. Okay, and I guess it just. And the project would be 2 hearts, would it, just to get rid of it naturally?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that'll be you, like that's representing you, like consulting other people, trying to find out ways to sort of do it. You know, like going to like holy places and praying and stuff like that.
Okay. Cool. So I will try and create the remove curse spell.
Okay, so that's a wisdom roll for yourself, so difficulty 12.
Ooh, not so much.
Okay.
Hey.
So unfortunately that has not succeeded. Have we got Tal there? So Tal, what do you want to do in your downtime?
Yep. I wish to start a project that I sort of started last time when I was laying low with the ex-sewer guild.
Okay, so what sort of effect of what's going to be the effect of your project?
I wish to work up to second in command to Amisha.
Okay.
And become her main squeeze, or vice versa.
Okay, I'm going to say that's going to take 2 hearts of effort. Again, you'll only be able to roll like every other session. So, but I think that's going to be, I would say probably charisma, because you're trying to sort of get your way in. But other attributes might be applicable if you can describe sort of how they're relevant.
Looking at his face, I think 2 hearts is generous, man.
Yeah.
Well, it only takes 2 hearts.
True, true.
Yeah, we'll go. I think possibly in the early stages, maybe his strength might be more appropriate as he starts at the lower levels.
So you're sort of trying to impress her with your martial prowess, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so
Calls.
make a strength roll, difficulty 12. Okay, no dice, I'm afraid.
Oh, right. She walked straight past me.
Well, good news is heart is a major organ for blood distribution, so eventually I will be able to help you in this regard. I will bring the blood magic to assist you. Eventually.
Alright, just give me a second. Bum, 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 bum.
Thanks, Jackdaw. You're all heart.
Cheers, guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, pump it.
Can anyone remember where the bit on milestones is in this?
Let's see. I have the PDF, so I'll do a quick search.
I think they're in the classes, right? There's the milestone options that you choose from.
So, John, are you looking for like the terms and conditions of advancement?
Yeah,
Kind of deal, like when it happens and stuff?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't remember that. Let's see.
Probably page 79 with rewarding players.
Okay, page 79. Let's have a quick look.
Oh, 79. Oh.
Here I've got master rewards.
Awarding milestone, yeah.
Turns out because this doesn't include a lifelong quest. Okay, so I don't think we're at a milestone yet, because it's like I say, it says when a player turns a corner, discovers their destiny, and completes a lifelong quest, which I don't think is really applicable at the moment. So we'll leave that for now, but it's worth keeping in mind. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the session. I think that's everything pretty much wrapped up. Apart from,
Sorry, John.
That's good.
Just because I was looking at the page that we were just on, and we haven't delved into this. So I wanted to take the time and suggest that we should award a hero coin to Tell. It says here, when a player does something that makes the game more fun for everyone, add a dash of bravado and award them with a shiny gold coin. So if that carries over, I think it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
To next session, because Tell did an absolute great job on that statue thing, and caused a whole lot of cool stuff as a result.
Yeah, and he jumped on the back of the thing and stopped it from getting.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I would heartily agree with that. So, Tell, you can
10 damage to the face. Didn't even break his
Yeah,
sweat.
like slammed up against the wall. Boosh!
He straightened my nose out. Straightened my nose, mate.
So, Tal, you can tick the checkbox on your character sheet that says you've got a hero coin. Now,
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Now, when you choose to spend that in a session, obviously there's a dice roller next to it, which allows you to add ultimate effort to whatever you're rolling.
Thank you.
Okay, so the only thing to sort out now is your next mission. So I'm going to tell you first of all that you have gained a reputation of 1 with the Witch Hunters and also with House Dacre.
Nice.
Now,
So-
the way this generally works is to get reputation 1, you have to do like 1 mission for them. I've ticked it for both because it was for both of them. If you want to get reputation 2, you have to do 2 missions for those people, and so on and so forth. And obviously, once you get to like higher levels of rep, they like regard you as like strong allies, so they might throw more jobs your way. They'll be more willing to help if you've got like a rep of like 4 with the witch hunters, and you're like, oh, we're going to hunt someone down. Have we got any allies that can help? You can be like, yeah, let's get the witch hunters on board.
Well, I'd get, for the record, he's making no secret of the fact that he's all over doing jobs for the witch hunters, because that was like, woohoo!
Yeah, if you want to be facing down like arcane madness, that the witch hunters are the way to go.
He's like, oh man, we don't want to mess about with no dank barrels. Let's find some more of them demons, man. He's like, woohoo! He's bouncing around, yeah.
Okay, now obviously it's up to you guys who you want to do a mission for. That's sort of placed in your hands.
There was some talk about the vintners last time, was there?
Yeah.
The Vintners Guild. The company of vintners, importers of exotic wines and fine spirits.
Look at that, spirits.
They're a fairly powerful organisation. I mean, they're a tier 3 organisation. The highest organisation is tier 4, which is like the crown.
Yeah, the one person.
Yeah, that's literally like, there's one tier 4 organisation, and it's the royal family.
No.
So like all of the high up guilds and like noble houses like Dacre and like the Church of Gale, the Company of Vintners, they're all sort of tier 3 because they're massive, but they're not like the crown.
Right. Actually, how do people feel about trying to cure the friar of his
Yeah,
curse?
we could go on a quest for that for sure. I'm down for that.
Yep.
I don't mind.
Okay, so I'll make a note. Next mission, cure friar.
Yeah, and it might, like, if we want to utilize the system that we have for generating missions, that could just be we go to the herbalist guild or whoever,
Yep.
and we're just like, this is like, look at this man, he's made of rubber, blah blah, and do you have anything for that? And then they were, yes, we have the golden mycena, however, and then
Right, I would say there's 2 likely like groups you could go to, like 2 factions. Well, say 3 factions that could most likely help you. Obviously, it's the Church of Gale if you want to try and find like a religious way of like curing yourself. There is the August Fellowship of Sages and Researchers, who are what they sound like. And then
cool.
if you fancy dabbling with a bit more chaos, there is the Brotherhood of Goblin Alchemists.
Them boys know that. Them boys know where it's at. I'll tell you that.
Who again are what they sound like. Now, obviously, they've all got their advantages and disadvantages. If you go for the Church of Gale, it's likely they're in return for like trying to help you cure you. They're going to want you to do some sort of religious like quest for them. The August Fellowship of Sages and Researchers, they're literally like all about that research and like rare esoteric knowledge. So it's going to be slightly more you sort of like Cthulhu-esque, like, oh, go and investigate this for us, and we've heard this legend, go and investigate this. Whereas the Goblin Alchemists are more sort of like, oh yeah, we need you to go out and collect these like mad different ingredients, and we're going to like throw them in a pot and get you to drink it, and you'll probably be all right. But the advantage of the Goblin Alchemists is they don't really ask any questions. So if you like rock up to the other 2 and be like, oh, I've got this melty face curse, they might be like, how did that come about? Certainly the Fellowship of Sages, whilst they're not going to like throw you into the Peakers, they're just like interested in all knowledge, so they'll want to know. Whereas the Brotherhood of Goblin Alchemists will be more like, oh, here's a chance to try some random shit out. So they're not bothered how you got the melty face curse. They're just like, oh, chance to play alchemist.
Yeah, that gets my vote.
What do you reckon? We check out your brothers, sisters.
Yeah, you'll be fine. And you'll have fun doing it.
Okay, so Goblin Alchemists.
Goblins, we know what's what.
Gotta
Don't
bring
worry.
in the
You're
mushrooms.
being
Going down to Goblin
safe
Town.
hands. You got my personal guarantee. What could go wrong?
Okay. Right. So we pretty much know who the clients are. Obviously, it's the Goblin Alchemists. We know what the goal is. So we pretty much can jump straight to rolling for the twist in the tale. So, Friar, would you like to roll me a d12?
3.
3, okay. So the job takes place within the territory of a dangerous street gang.
The red moths.
Yeah, probably a bit more dangerous than them. They're not that dangerous, to be honest.
Yeah, probably hostile.
Yeah. I didn't say hostile, I said dangerous.
Yeah, fair.
The blue moths. Oh no, like that.
Okay, so Jackdaw, can you roll me a d6, please? This is to see where the job is like leading you, where you're gonna have to go. 2. Oh, Uptown.
Nice.
Now, obviously, the Goblin Alchemists are in Goblin Town, but they're going to be sending you to Uptown, into the territory of a dangerous street gang, which I shall look forward to trying to role play some upper class street gang. That'll be entertaining. Okay, so our next mission is you're going to go and consult the Goblin Alchemist. Obviously, I'll post up like I did with the Witch Hunter, I'll post up like a little blurb which we can go through at the start of the session, and I'll have a bit more time to think about what exactly they're sending you to get. But they're going to be sending you into a particularly dangerous area of Uptown, the sort of north of the river, posher side of town, into the territory of a dangerous street gang. And we're going to be trying to find the cure for Friar Dunstan's melty face curse. And that is what we'll be doing next time. Nice. Thank you very much for playing, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the session.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm more than happy to chat for a while, but I'm going to end the recording now. So anyone watching this in the future, thank you very much. Thanks to my wonderful players, and we will catch you soon. Take care.
Toodaloo.